Mr. Mr. Bowker, or Boker. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, the eye is so bad today that I wasn't going to come on because it says it was at the last minute. I have to do compresses on my eye because of an effed up allergy that I'd never found what it was, and doctors are too incompetent to find out what they are. So it took me a little bit of time to come on. So I'm going to be squinting a little bit. I still catch those UFOs. Either way, another daytime UFO, guys. Another daytime UFO with the infrared camera, this time at 4 in the afternoon in a couple of minutes. So that's absolutely mind blowing for me. Mix Mayhem, how's it going, brother? It is Friday. Bruce Nationals, yes, latest video was a blast. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for appreciating it. I try not to put too much of the sun. I love the sun. When the sun's aggressive, there's some Harleys. I always put on a part of the sun, especially when it's aggressive. Today, I was not able to see the sun because the sole reason it's so cloudy, the sun never came up. Look at that beautiful icon. Oh, it looks like Julie's icon's bigger than everyone else's. What's that all about? Please put your questions for Bruce early in the stream because Bruce takes hours to answer. He tries to answer every comment as he scrolls down and plays in his eye. If Bruce leaves the screen, please post crickets because he's playing in his eye, and that will make him feel bad when he comes back and sees all the crickets. He wants to chat with everyone, and there's only one moon. And there's only one moon man. That's right. That's me, the moon man, the one everyone blames the moon problems on. Thank you. Share your kindness and the stream. Hit the like button and enjoy your day. Join us at 8 p.m. this evening because that's what time we always stream at 1 p.m. and at 8 p.m. So we get several people here to be able to join the conversation and talk about the last video and the daytime infrared UFO capture. That's right, Pentagon. Daytime UFO captures. I love capturing those because it causes a lot of hype in the UFO community anyways, higher up, because it's so hush-hush when you start seeing those objects in the middle of the day. Well, that means there's definitely a problem if you're seeing those objects in the middle of the day. Who are they? Why are they hiding them? Jeff K in the house. Thanks a lot, Jeff K. Thanks for coming by, brother. Stephanie Kerr. How's it going, you guys? That's life, but not as we know it. Says, good evening. Yes, inmates. Yes, we are. That's exactly what we are. We are in one big jail. And what they did is they were really smart. They made a jail with the walls and the bars really far away from us so that we feel that we can roam. But we're just in a big cage. In reality, that's the story. Well, hello to you, Miss Stats. How's it going? I'm watching your videos, Julie. I'm digging the videos, as always. I love the variation of the videos, as always. Thank you very much, Beth Noyce. Hi, all. Happy 11/11. Yes, thank you, veterans. Absolutely, Bruce. Great daytime UFO capture. Thank you very much. And of course, thank you to all veterans for serving. I got some people that came by the channel. Maybe not a troll, but I think it was a little offensive what they said. The military, why congratulate them for just killing people? I thought that was a little low, guys, the ones that did it, because in reality, that I know what the military is doing to the people and the soldiers and what they've done over the years. But you must agree that every single person that served in their country is there for sure as a soldier to protect their country from the enemy. What they're doing with the soldiers and where they're sending them and what excuses they're telling them, I get it. But for me on Veterans Day, it's not something I would bring up because I do respect everyone who served. November 10th in Ottawa, there was a low turnout for the Indigenous Veterans Day. Very concerning. There was 3 tiny poppies that were laid out. No one was there. We had some Indian people from Indigenous people that were there with guitars singing to their grandparents and giving tribute to their grandparents. And it was a sad thing that there weren't very many people there for that day. But I think it has to do a lot with the people are sick of the military in general and the government, what's going on. So, of course, we were told to stay in our houses during the pandemic. Some people are still even on lockdowns around the world. So it's like Halloween this year. I saw 3 kids go by in the street this year, and it was a beautiful night. But things are changing. People are like, they're not into the spirit of celebrating. But Christmas is on its way. I decorate, guys, by the way. He'll be wearing a Santa hat. That's my decoration. And not because I don't celebrate Christmas, because I don't have anyone to celebrate it with, physical people. My son will be here for Christmas. He'll come on during the live stream, say a little hello to Miss Heard and all the trolls. We've been trying to find him for some reason. Drunk adults trying to locate minors. Creepy. Having to have hid my family when I came on, really sad. Instead of sharing my family, because I love my family, gotta put them in a box somewhere. Love to my awesome Moon Man. Thank you so much, the stats, and everyone for the amazing support here. Moon Man, please hit the like button up. Yes, thumbs up. Have fun in the chat, comment, and we are so happy you are here. Please return tonight at 8 p.m. and send love. Thank you very much, Miss Stats. You rock. You guys are awesome. Stefan, how's it going, my friend? Divine Sorcerer in the house. Thanks, you guys. Andrew, have you ever seen or heard of the atmospheric kill vehicles before? Heard about it. Don't know anything about it, though. Apparently, they're for taking out ICBMs in space. That's interesting. Kill vehicles before, apparently. So, the thing is that they're all set up. They have all this set up in space. They've been doing it for years, probably have some enemies themselves, like alien enemies that they got to come down, or they took them down or whatever. Everything that's going on in space is a secret. And it's hard as hell for them to hide anything in space. You have to, I believe, integrate a lie in religion. You have to integrate a lie in science, and you just go with it, because there's certain things that for geniuses, they can't hide. I've always said that. They can't hide everything on the moon, because mathematicians and geniuses and science freaks that know everything and find everything would find certain things out. So they would have had to integrate a lie in some of the science. So in other words, well, the reason why we're seeing that like that in space, it's an optical illusion because of libration. I even talk about libration and some of the things they say with the Terminator line, but is it necessarily a fact? We don't know. Thanks, Peter, Mr. Peter Benton. Hey, Bruce, good to see you. How are you? And how is everyone here? I've been better. My eye's been better, but I'm doing great. And I'm hyped. Yesterday that I caught a daytime UFO at 4:12 or something like that in the afternoon. The exact time, I wrote it down in the video, 4:12, I think it was. Straight sun had, it's like it's sunny out, but the sun's going down. It's not under the horizon, but it's behind the houses, and I can't see the globe anymore, right? And I see this ball of light right over the area where the UFOs lifted up, which is exactly right over a biological lab and the junction of Hydro-Quebec. And again, that forest there. Now, I know they want me to go to the forest, but I gotta, if I'm gonna go for a UFO ride, I'm gonna have to get some Depends. I mean, apparently no human can hold themselves when they go for a little ride. I wouldn't take the chance. That's why I always dress nicely and take my shower before I go out in the balcony at night, because you never know when they come pick you up. A little cologne. Gonna smell good, look good, first impression. A big guy in his boxers and his robe. They're all talking to themselves. What the hell do we do with this one? Imagine if it was real to happen, like if it would happen one day. I know that if I go in the forest back there, I don't think I'm gonna come back. Am I afraid? Fuck yeah. I mean, when you really see them on the surface, it's not like in a movie there. I saw them leave here. Okay. If I go in the woods at night there, it's behind the lab. I don't know if like I said, it's all along the border, eh? and that some of that land is farmers' land, but a lot of the land where I think I'm seeing the UFOs is literally in the no man's land, no man's zone between the border, the Canadian-U.S. border. That is absolutely trippy. Thanks very much, Mr. Peter Benton, and everyone. Julie, thanks, you guys. Peter, Kelly's watching too. Hello, Kelly. Thanks. Nice to see you guys. Love you guys. Amazing support, and thanks for listening in. Kelly's watching too. Glad you managed to get those sunspots, bro. Vicious, bro. Wow, they were vicious, and you had gotten those sunspots before me, actually, because I had a cloudy day. When you got them in your video, really nice with the P1000, nice and close. It's the same thing, man. That's awesome, and yeah, that's right. I assume you have a filter now at Bayer. I don't know if that's where you got your filter, but if anyone does want to get a sun filter or try it yourselves on your own camera, the only place in the world I was able to get it is at Bauer or Bayer in the UK. It's Bauer or something like that. Or I never get the name right, but that's where I was able to find some paper to be able to do some tests. So I see. Thanks so much, man, and Kelly. Thank you, you guys. Since I've seen a UFO come less than 300-400 feet in the sky. Actually, I saw one at 15 feet away, but in general, I saw one at 300-400 feet up. If I have an infrared drone, the next time there's a light, all I have to do is take the drone and fly the drone to the light. Literally fly the drone to the light. They come close to me. If I can fly the drone through the light and find out what those objects are, you imagine me being able to do that easily because they're like really low in the sky? Like if it screws up my drone, I don't give a crap. We'll have one hell of a video. We'd have one hell of a video. That fascinates me when I think of that. I said, wow, imagine if we could film them. And if you have an infrared drone or even a regular drone, well, unless you have UFOs, what are you going to use your drone for at night? Infrared drone. Being able to follow the light for a couple of 100 feet and then I'd be able to indicate on the video following a UFO from 10 feet away. Imagine that. Oh, I'd get in trouble maybe. Gate Smasher, thanks so much, bro. What we were taught is not the truth. Question it, seek out knowledge, absolutely, and truths. Share Bruce's All channel. Thanks, guys. So others may see. Eat bacon, Veterans Day, Marines for life. I love you, man. And each and every one of you that served, like I said, there was some people that came by the channel and they were upset because of and I get it, but on Veterans Day, you don't do that. Because everyone's goal on veteran, as a veteran, especially, or when they go to war, is not to harm the country, it's to save it. And the interest, the salary, the excitement, and Marines especially would have been something awesome. But me as a Canadian, I have a lot of Canadian friends that went to become Marines. My friend Jimmy, a guy from school, black guy, used to go to school with us, really a sportsman guy, went up to the States, moved there, became a Marine. And I think he served, went to Iraq or where I have no idea where they all serve and whatnot, or what divisions and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of Canadians go to the States because here in Canada, we got military. Just, I guess they want action. I don't know where Trudeau's sending the military here in Canada. Probably Ukraine, I would assume. Thank you so much, Gate Smasher. I love you guys. Really appreciate that. Andrew, again, Ryan, thanks again for being here, brother. Lisa B is in the house. How's it going, Lisa B? October 30th. Try to remember everyone's birthday. I won't. 2 weeks, I will definitely forget it. As I always do. Hey, Mr. Adeos, are you driving? He could be driving. Keep your eyes on the road. He's probably listening. Who else is here? We have Axman. Thank you very much. Hello. Thanks, guys. Miss Lisa Eckerly's in the house. Nice to see you. Lisa Eckerly, thank you for being here. Bruce to Moon Man. Lisa's another one that does a lot of. And listen, a little shout out for Lisa for wanting everyone to. I know a lot of people here know about David Wilcock. A lot of people, some don't listen to him, some do listen to him, some agree, some disagree. But on Gaia app is where Lisa goes, and of course, what Wilcock and Wilcock or Wilcox, anyways, Wilcock, and of course, a lot of other people are talking about things that they're not saying on YouTube on his regular channel. And Lisa, I wanted to give her a little shout out for that because she's always so gratefully helpful to the channels and trying to share the channels also. So, absolutely. I probably will check it out one day. Probably will check it out one day. Me, what I got to fix is the downloading. I have a computer with all my boxes, and I have an iMac Pro, but the problem is when I bought the iMac Pro, you have to buy memory and a whole bunch of stuff to like really have room on your computer. And I have a good computer that's doesn't hold a lot of memory. That's why I have all the boxes, put everything on the bloody boxes. And what I did is I downloaded about 15 apps, but it slows down the computer so bloody much, and I'd have to clean some of them up. Lisa, I want to help you. I want to thank you for the amazing support here and for coming to the channel and the contributions for being members, you guys. I'm ever so grateful. And so, Lisa, what do you think of the daytime UFO? And for those that don't know what the difference is when I film it in the day and at night, well, at night, when you're filming at night with infrared camera, you see pitch dark, right? And the objects that are warmer, you see the heat signatures and whatnot. But yeah, a daytime UFO, 4:12 p.m., a bright light over the top of the biological lab. And with the naked eye, what I showed you in the last video, okay, doesn't look like a round sphere. It looks like, quite simply, Jupiter or Venus. You know, when you go outside, look at Jupiter, you see like a fizz and like a sort of a line because it's so bright, the star, almost like a cross you can see. It was bright orange. And a lot of you have told me that when you saw these UFOs that came really close to you, they were orange and they were red. I saw like blood, like an aquarium filled with blood with a light inside of it, and you can see through the blood. I'm talking, there was no blood. I'm talking about, it's hard to explain, a UFO that I saw. It was a sphere, and inside the sphere, you had all this red liquid, very, very vibrant and beautiful at the same time, almost looked like a heart at one point, and started just fizzing around inside of that sphere when it came to the house. So having a drone, I would be able to go up and I don't know what it would do. Oh my God. Sending a drone up. They come close to me, guys. I'd be able to literally go up at its height and maybe take some snapshots and see something, or I don't know. I wonder, I want to be, I guess I shouldn't be saying it or even trying it, but I want to be the first one to approach a UFO with a drone and go through that light. Like, you know, if I go through the light and the drone just falls out as dust, well, I'll go like, okay, well, I'm not going to go for a ride in that. That's for sure. There's so many theories that we can come up with. People come here and Bruce has, you know, aliens on the moon song. So Bruce thinks it's aliens. Not really. I'm open to all theories. It could be just drones that we see on the moon, somebody said, thinking they would maybe offend me, and they could be right. It could be just humans. It could be both. I think it would most likely be humans and aliens. Lisa is also one that hears a lot about them talking about, and we talk about it here too, about the moon being a UFO. And Lisa brought up one very incredible thing about the water. You know, I've been telling you about the water. Like Bruce talked about water in 216 before they were even talking about it, because I'm seeing these lines on the surface. Well, like Lisa was saying with what she was watching, if it is a spaceship and that's all mechanical objects on the outside, not structures, or both, because there are cannons that were located there, right? Like weapons, you can see towers and everything. It would make sense that they're just sitting there as a planet, and then something comes near, and then isn't that like the biggest secret that anyone could do? But anyways, the water drifting off from remember I told you that they were leaving the north and it was dripping down to the lit side of the sun. Well, they were talking about pits having been found on the moon. So, well, what does water do with electrical devices and when it gets into your car? Maybe it wasn't a good thing that the water, and this was like Lisa had mentioned this with what she was looking at on David Wilcock and on Gaia app. And listen, it's a big possibility, right? Like maybe all the planets could be UFOs when you think of it. Maybe there is no solid land. Isn't that a scary thought? That there is no solid land in the universe, that everything is floating and turning, you know? Well, yes, that's, you're going to say, well, of course, that's land, it's just planets. And, but in reality, if they're not, if they weren't planets in theory, that would be something exceptional, you know? My brother talks a lot about, did a very thorough research in religion. I wouldn't just say religion, yeah, religion and Bible too. Um, he's a Christian now, and he's into doing a research like crazy, even though he works full time. When you guys will see him one day, because I'll have him on so we can have a debate and discussion. He probably doesn't understand yet my real belief about what's on the moon, as I probably don't understand his. But what I'm trying to explain to everyone is that everyone that is religious and they talk about a God and they talk about angels and talk about spirits and demons, well, it's just the terms that everyone's changing. Someone will say, well, they're aliens. No, it's God. Well, what if God was an alien? And that is something that Paul Wallace, as an archbishop, I've spoken to him personally, mano to mano. I had a beautiful chance. If you don't know Paul Wallace, guys, you have to check out his channel. He is the only one doing what he's doing, anyways. Well, not the only one. David's doing that too, but he's bringing the connection to the alien and the religion, the connection, making the connection between the alien side of religion. And it's very, very interesting. And whether you be a Christian or whether you're stuck on your Bible belief systems, what would happen to a religious person if you yourself got the proof that God really was alien? Would you still accept? Would you still be able to go on and say, well, there's a God, or because he's alien or it's alien, would you be upset? For me, I don't see how it should change anything. Maybe understanding that some things were omitted, it could be possibly too. And I think we're just talking theory here. Thanks, Beth Noyes, for welcoming everyone too. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mr. Gate Smasher, for smashing that like button. This great Veterans Day here. Yes, eat bacon and kicking butt. Hoorah. Man, I hope you have an amazing day. And again, for everyone that has served, a lot of families lost a lot of members, and including my family. And, that's how it is. We have to remember them, because no one else will remember them, right? The ones that pass on, like Martin Luther King. If people weren't still talking about him, no one will remember him. When I went to school, the only thing they taught us about Martin Luther King, they showed us a speech. And I think that was the best thing they could have ever done. No explanations, just showed us a speech. And I understood everything. Instead of presenting something and a teacher gives you his or her explanation of what they meant and what this means. And I think we're smart enough to do our own researching, and they should just email us all the old scriptures and tablets and just let us do our own thing ourselves. Try to find out exactly what's out there. Hey, Darla in the house. You rock, Miss Julie Stats. Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, the crickets. Oh no, was that a cricket or? Yeah, see, they don't make them small enough. Yes, it was. I thought it was some sexy lady lying down with her knee up in the air. We have Carol West here, California. Carol, stopping by. Say hi. Thank you very much, you guys. Christopher Rollins is in the house. Carlene's in the house. Thank you very much for coming back, Carlene. Hope you did have a great day too. How sweet of you. How nice of you guys and gals to come back to the channel. Thank you so much. Tom's in the house. I try to be as silly as I can. As silly as I can. They say people that laugh hide things, maybe. No, I don't hide nothing. I don't hide nothing. I am an open book. On each side of the screen, the guy has weapons and he's hiding them. It's so easy to be who you want online, eh? And a lot of people do that. And a lot of people go a little psychotic with who they are online. I have a little, there's a lot of creative people, let's just say, on YouTube. A lot of creative people on YouTube. The things that some of the trolls have done and tried on some of the people, and it's funny. And anyways, if you're over the target, hey, the subs are going down there. We got to get those subs up. So the ones that subscribe, don't change a thing. And I thank you very, very much. What do you mean rolling back subscribers when I got a daytime UFO? That shouldn't be happening. Hey, imagine if I was upset, guys, the ones that have been here since the beginning, how many amazing things and through luck and skill and everything or whatnot that I was able to capture. If I would get upset every time I didn't get the views on something, boy, like the UFO fleet that I had to post 28,000 times since 218, 219, and I still only got about 10,000 views. But it's not that people don't know. It's probably what maybe even saved me from being able to stay up here without being taken down, most likely. Again, Jeff K, thanks for being here. Sugar Bees in the house. I'll be peeking in. I have a doctor appointment, yes, at 1, but we'll be here tonight all the way. We'll be looking forward to it. Sugar Bee, have a safe afternoon. Thank you very much. Hey, the sunspots, aren't they incredible, Lisa? And we can actually see on the sunspot from not the one from the 10th, but the one from the, not the one from the 9th, but the one from the 10th yesterday. You could see a plume of plasma or smoke or something lifting up really high off of the surface of the sun too. And the M flux now is at M123, I think. There's some dangers for some solar storms. And if I check really quickly the sunspots to see if anything has happened while we're talking. No, November 7th. Oof, it's bad. It is bad. November 7th, an M5.2 flare was active geomagnetic conditions. And before that, well, we were brought back to the 28th of October. We had an active geomagnetic storm facing Earth. The coronal holes were facing Earth. And right now, magnetic field is moderate. So it looks like it's maintaining. It looks horrible. Looking at the sun, it's worse than the 2 days that I showed it to you. Now those two sunspots are actually approaching themselves. I don't know how that's going to last. Exactly 1 month ago on theblackvault.com, over 3 million documents. Somebody's making that video using the Freedom of Information Act to go and get a whole bunch of things declassified for us. And the Air Force said 1 month ago, approximately, we are not going to disclose anything that is UFO or UAP related. So we have to wonder what's going on. Is there something going on? Well, the possibilities that come to mind for most of us is it could be an adversarial or foreign country like China or Russia, or it's aliens. Just quite that simple. It could also be the US themselves that are doing these lights and all this, and that now the US was doing it and now China's doing it, or vice versa, because at one point the US was mentioning they were worried about the superiority of China. They don't want China to have superiority in the anti-gravity technology. So you still think of the stories, Bob Lazar, and you go, well, where does it all fit into? Again, Bob Lazar was working for the Navy. Don't forget, right? Nuclear physicist, very, very young. Isn't it odd a nuclear physicist that young? Maybe not. I thought it was a little odd. Different types of propulsion. Well, the Pentagon got caught and some information was declassified, some documents telling us, guys, that the Pentagon wanted to do with some secret associations which could be any other country, on the moon doing tests about anti-gravity, electrical propulsion system. They're looking for um, um, a material, an element that they can use to build ships and probably structures and buildings on the moon that is as lightweight as plastic, okay, but that is more solid than metal. So they're doing those tests to try to find certain things out. They were probably doing that on Earth at one point. Now they're doing that on the moon at one point. Oh, Carol West, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Welcome. Thank you very much. Totally awesome. So if they got caught doing that on the moon or having planned doing that on the moon, could Bob Lazar's S4 bunker 9 different anti-gravity propulsion systems from 9 different crafts be us experimenting with technology? Could Bob Lazar have said to protect himself when he leaked out this information, which again I still have, and I love Bob to pieces. I have a hard time, spoke to him once, I have a hard time believing that Bob Lazar would expose that, honestly. And if he did, it could be that he did. And I think that he would have used the defense saying that the aliens were from the Zeta Reticuli star system. He did say the crafts were too small for a human to fit inside, and that there was actually no dashboard, and that there was no, and nothing. I don't even know if there's a bench, maybe just a bench. It's, whether they're controlled with the mind or not, it brings up a lot of questions for us to really wonder. But what you have to put two and two together with what's coming out in the UFO disclosure today. I go back often and look at Bob Lazar and try to find out the liaison, the connection, between the two of them. That are those lights what Bob Lazar was working on, and it could be because he did talk about photonic energy being created around these craft. And what happens with photonic energy? Well, it makes a very, very bright light. So when antimatter is actually being created by through these tubes, the propulsion system, when they're going through and reaching the atmosphere, touching physical matter, which is negative matter touches, or antimatter touches the atmosphere, we get a giant photonic light that forms around the vessel. That would be the easiest way of hiding any craft or vessel that's flying around. I think there's nothing exaggerated about that. It's simple. It makes sense. But is it true that what Bob Lazar said about the photonic light around them, it could be. It could very well be. Someone commented on um, in the community, I think a couple of days ago, um, a lady, obviously she probably wouldn't want to do an interview, but if she did, she'd be more than welcome. It'd be very interesting. As Paul Wallace, if you're listening, I have to get you on, bro. I really have a lot of questions to talk to you about. He has a book too that he wrote, and I want to talk to him about that. But anyways, the kind lady that commented in the community 2 days ago worked on an anti-gravity project years ago. Hamel project. We'll just leave it at that. And there's a lot of anti-gravity projects that are active, I believe, right now. That's what they were doing with the Pentagon. We got DARPA that got caught doing mind controlling programs too, that just like they did back with MK Ultra. So, from what I understanding, they're changing the names. Basically, that's all they're doing. They're changing the names of some of these programs. Systematic self-organization. Thanks so much for being here. David's in the house. Donnie Foster, thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks again, Julie and Gate Smasher and everyone. That's right, brother. Where we go one, we go all, my friend. Disappointed in what's going on in the U.S. yet again? Son of a gun. Anyone want some coffee? I do. No crickets. I should just live stream beside the coffee machine. I don't know what's my glasses now. Water my glasses. I'm getting to be like an old man. Notice that, guys? I'm like a little old man now. You watch me in 2090. I'll still be here, guys. I'll be like this. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hey, Miss Heard. 100 years later, she's still there. Probably, most likely would still be there. We're strongest together. One power, one love. It's always been. And the government says, oh my God, they're going to actually get themselves together. The blacks and the whites and everything, they're all going to be together. So they're making us fight, making people fight with different races and cultures. And we fight for the stupidest things. Fighting for Veterans Day. Ah, are we that heartless? That's how we are. That's how we are when it comes online. We see the fights, you know. Meanwhile, Fetterman preparing to be president. That's why I think I have a chance to become president. You guys imagine how many meetings are being held by how many countries and associations? Do you imagine where they're doing the testing for all of this UFO anti-gravity crap? At one point, they're not going to be able to do it on Earth anymore. That's for sure. Area 51 is a secret base that's not secret, that everyone knows about. People go up to Tikaboo Lake, where I was supposed to go. If poor Marty passed away, then the pandemic arrived and stuff. If not, I would have gone up with him. That was the plan, to go to Arizona, and then we're going to Nevada. And then we're going to Area 51 to go up to Tikaboo Lake, get as close as we can, and to film any activity that goes on in the night sky there with my 3 infrared cameras. Would have been absolutely amazing. But you know what? There's bases in every country. And the Area 51, there's lots of places like that, I believe, especially even here in Canada. As a matter of fact, you guys in the States were told that Virginia is making some vehicles and tanks that they're sending off to Ukraine on the front line. Well, anyways, not going to mention too much about the name of the place, but that place, there's also the same named place. That's right in my town. And they're making arms for, from what I heard, countries around the world. So who knows? I know that back in the day, they were saying that a lot of what happened at the Gulf War, all the ammo and everything that was being created, built, was all here. Not all. Probably a lot of people around the world that were doing it, but the Americans disagreed with me. They were very surprised finding out that Canada was building some of their tanks, and that's what Canada does. We build apparently secret submarines for hundreds of countries, and there's only 200 countries, so you got to wonder what's going on. You know, we have the Canadian arm that appears in NASA's research and stuff, but a lot of times we don't hear about Canada or what's going on. It's a front anyways. It's still all US, whether it be Canada or not. The Canadian arm, it was okay, they say Canadians, but in reality there's no border between Canada and the US. US is doing secret projects here, and Canada is doing secret projects there. They've been doing that since the 40s, 50s, and 60s, since after the war. So you can only imagine how many other countries are doing all of that too. Try to post a comment on one of your quirky posts, but my post just buffered. I don't know if some of you have been having problems clicking on channels this week. Aside from the trolls and hackers we have here, often YouTube has many glitches. Thanks for welcoming everyone, Darla. I think I came down with a little bit of a cold. I'm not too sure this week. Got to thank each and every one of you for coming back. Mr. Christopher Rollins, someone mentioned to me that you had lost a wrench. Just letting you know that I didn't take it off you, but I will give it back to you by copying your name and putting it back into the settings. And I went to look, your name's there. So I'll take it out, put it back in. It happens once in a while. Some people, I have no idea why, because usually when I give the wrench, it stays like that. And I spent 2 last days on a Gaia app watching the interviews with Emery Smith. There's the name I was looking for. And David Wilcock. Oh my God. They prove that Bruce's finding in the moon is 100% correct. And I thank you very much for letting me know that, Lisa. Absolutely incredible. At the same time, there's not many people. I know you, and especially you also know Linda Moulton Howe, talking about her also. Just a video, incredible video that you shared with me about the star seeds. You know, I had never heard of that term until I started doing the research, and I understood that with what happened to me when I was younger, it probably could go along the line of that, a star seed, but I just never really looked into that. But the experience that I had younger with mirrors too, I don't even know if my mother knows about that one, but there's just a lot of things that happened to me a lot when I was young to make me understand about some silly things that a kid wouldn't understand, like stairs and gravity. And at a young age, I was actually honestly always experimenting around that and thinking and pondering and looking off into the sky, wondering about things. And I hadn't realized it as much until maybe my father passed away, and then my grandfather. And then you go, well, you're a kid. So a kid, the only thing a kid has in his head is that, your parent will be up in heaven. But my dad, for some silly reason, the month he died, we were camping and told me that because my grandfather just passed away a couple days before that, or weeks or whatever, recently, and said, grandpa, and when dad dies too, look up on a star. Or maybe he just said about my grandfather because he didn't know he was going to die. But he says he's up on the brightest star at that time was the North Star. That's the star he was talking about. And only, I think this year, I did some research on the North Star. And do you know that the North Star, they say that it's heaven, right? And now you're going to say where, which scripture, which Bible. Just bear with me and do your own research. But there's something to some ancient scriptures, or I really don't think it has to do with fables, something to do with heaven, about where the North Star is. So I thought it was really cool that he had said that. And it could be as silly as the reason why I'm doing research on stars now is because I was trying to find out if, people were up and out there. For me, it just was never something that was incredible. I personally believe that there's people on the moon, alien or human. I don't really know. And I don't really care which they are, because for me, it's just an alien is just like another strange culture or being that we don't know, which we would be alien to them, quite simply. Wouldn't you? Would you not think that? Like, we're alien to them and they're alien to us, Gosh, black people and white people are alien to each other. I mean, we're still like, we're the same. Okay, we're the same. We wear different clothing. Sometimes we wear the same clothing. It's just so funny, People think we're so different. I know. Then you mix in all the stereotypes and everything that people say about certain cultures, and it's all bullcrap. When you meet them and you find out about who they really are, you go, hey, like when you go in another country and you go, oh, I don't want to go there because they say this and they say that, and you get there and you go, wow, this is a great place, Remy 333, hey, thank you so much. Thanks, you guys. Those objects in space, thanks for the generous contribution. If those objects in space, says Remy 333, aren't aliens, if we are truly alone, that would be just sad. Yes, it would. I know some are satellites and junk. Absolutely. We pollute everything, but some have to be ETs. Absolutely, Remy. And that's why we look at the characteristics of some of the lights. So the 6 lights that I captured, 9 lights that left the surface recently, last week. Well, it's not a satellite, right? And sometimes people will get lights in the sky, and you have to do the comparisons. Satellites exist, and they're very, very small, and a lot of people think there's thousands and tens of thousands of satellites, and they're really not. I think there's like 2,100 or 2,500 maximum. They have in the goal, SpaceX, Elon Musk wants to send up there. I don't know if you guys heard him say this. He says that billions of satellites in low Earth orbit, okay, low orbiting, can coexist with humans, absolutely no problems. I don't know so much about the testing that they did on that. Bit more worried about the 5G. Keep your eyes and ears open. You'll have no choice but doing so with the 5G, and take a look at what they're saying about the 5G. Some of the things coming up, of course, InfoWars, Alex Jones is talking about that too. And yeah, lots of things going on in the States, lots of corruption, more rigging, more crap and stuff. And some people commented on my, I think it was Leia the other day, or yesterday, said that she commented on my live stream and she was warned not to talk about selections, if you know what I mean, and votes and stuff. So that was a little odd because of what's going on in Venezuela, in the States. Is, you know, they don't want us talking about it. Anyways, that's it. Not going to talk about it anymore. Thanks again, Remy. And yeah, another thing, Remy, there's lots of junk out there. Peter Benton just caught recently, it's a couple weeks ago, if not less than a month ago, caught debris flying by, and I say it's debris. It's a UFO. We don't know what it is. Big ass piece of metal for sure. And you see it turning and spiraling fast enough. And he caught that going by the moon, between the moon and Earth. So there is excuse the expression, there's a shitload of debris, but the debris acts a lot very differently. And I can tell because you see it flailing around, and it's on a straight trajectory, but it's like it's just lopsided and it's like spiraling around. Doesn't look very much like some type of intelligent life form or either, which some of them, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are living beings. We wouldn't know if they're bioluminescent beings from the sun. How scary would that be? Imagine if the sun, it's just a whole bunch of living organism like creatures that are bright sticking to this area together that forms like what looks like a sun, when in reality it's just all energy from these beings there together. Anyways, Bruce doesn't need to smoke to get some good ideas. I got plenty of I'm open-minded. The day I find out that my God is alien, or that there isn't one, or that, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm going to accept what is there. Some people have maybe a bigger problem with that. Me, I'm living my life to be good to people because I think it's a good thing to do, not because somebody's behind me saying you're gonna go to hell if you do it. But it helps. It helps, right? If somebody says you're gonna go to hell. KM's in the house. Thank you. Get so excited when everyone comes in. That sounds bad. Full beaver moon, ladies and gentlemen. We always see some different things with the full beaver moon. I hope you appreciated the way I showed the surface, and like sometimes, well, how come Bruce is close and sometimes he's not close? And I like seeing it also from a distance sometimes, and I can't always get it. It all depends on the atmosphere. Always, whether it be the atmosphere on the moon, whether it be the atmosphere here. How many of you think there could be actually vegetation on the moon? I actually think some of the patches that we are seeing has to be something that's grown. If not, it's, you know, in MASH, when they put up those tents, I even have some of you guys that even mentioned it too, but I mentioned this a long time ago. In MASH, they have this net that they put over to look like vegetation. It's just a green tarp with holes, right? You know why they do that? Eh? They do it to hide so the helicopters can land there. It's a little hospital set up with an operating table. Well, on the moon, they could be doing that around the vehicles, or not vehicles, sorry, the structures that are there. That's why we're seeing patches. We see it. We see the visual proof. There's patches on the structures. In every single image of the moon I've ever shown, we see the patches. And somebody goes, yeah, but the patches, you look at it and it's blurry. It could be moving. It could be smoke that's over those structures, always moving that smoke in the same area. Get it? A chimney, uh, 128 chimneys side by side, always causing this funnel of line of smoke and stuff. It's possible to have areas where it's always smoking, you never see the surface. There's areas on Earth that we can't see the surface because of the clouds in certain areas, depending on because there's too much water, whether there's mountains or something like that. Lots of high objects, towering objects, and the mountains are just 10 to 12,000 feet below Mount Everest, the Apennine Mountains, the highest point on the moon, where it's filled with structures there too. Honestly, my 1 year a membership on Bruce channel, Lisa, I cannot thank you enough. Definitely can't thank you enough. I had not even known that members could do that at one point. And as you have Aliaus also subscribed on the French channel, I think it was, or the English channel, as a member for a couple of months too, like a year, and like, or maybe even 14, 15 months. So I was like, that was really, really awesome. I had no idea that people were even able to do that. So I thank you so much for that. Trying to grow the member side. Eventually, I would have transferred everything over private and gone private. I would have kept a public side up. But I've never done that. I've always never wanted to hide. My goal is not to hide, right? But my goal is to stay up and to get enough support to be able to stick around, and don't change what you guys are doing. I mean, it's just you guys are going all out. We're a small family online that's keeping this channel alive. That's the worst of it, because not everyone's seeing all the videos. Nobody cares about the native Indian that served, which, by the way, if not for us natives, a war would have been a loss. Code talkers. Yes, and I know the exact story, and that's a beautiful thing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about that story. Not everyone knows about that story. And the beautiful part about that is that the Indians and the tribes and everything, yes, they were working for us as spies, with us as spies, because the way they were talking, I mean, think of it. Somebody gets, on the island, tries to invade, starts setting up devices to listen and antennas to hear what people are saying. You're not, no way in hell were they able to decipher the language of the indigenous people, right? You're not interested in indigenous people, you're not going to know what they're saying, that's for sure. They were able to do everything they wanted because of that. And there's a couple of cool stories. I hope that that's what you meant from the code talkers, because there's a couple of stories. Maybe that's not what you meant, but there's a couple of stories about that the Indians, of course, they were doing all the messaging and everything, and nobody was understanding what was going on, and it actually saved us. It actually saved us. Absolutely, David. And see, that's the thing. I talk with even veterans about what the military is doing and the higher ups and stuff, but like at the war with Ukraine and Russia, the people are always innocent, it's the civilians. But the military soldiers are not the bad ones at all. They're not the ones making any decision. As a matter of fact, they complain every time that they do something that is not right, like going to another country to do a war where they don't want to. You can be sure that they're going to speak up. And what happens is the ones that speak up, well, there's people there planted, even in the military, to keep the people's mouths shut. I know a lot about Vietnam, and I know a couple of people that went there, and the documentaries are only coming out now on YouTube this year about everything that went on and what they had to do. So we're talking back in the 60s and 70s. Okay, 75, I was born. That was the last year of Vietnam, or maybe 74. That's when it ended, or maybe a bit before when I was born. But when they got there, they were literally shooting with civilians, at civilians. And the ones that spoke up, which is basically all of them, were told to shut up and keep moving. It's mind control. That's what they do. You need a military. That's something confirmed. We need a military. It's just that the military now is so powerful Look, they forced all the soldiers to get the V'd and everything. You know how many soldiers spoke up against that? That they didn't put it in the news. Alex Jones is talking about it. They're all talking about it. They're not stupid, the soldiers there, you know. But yeah. I'll say like Al on Happy Days. Yeah. Nolarino in the house. Thank you very much. Nolarino, sorry. Florida. Thank you very much, my Floridians. My Floridian friends. Hey, how are you guys doing with Nicole? I haven't checked that. Actually, the next couple of days, I guess it was supposed to be um maybe not in Orlando, but it was close to Orlando. Something they were talking about. No, not Nicole, right? Maybe a tropical storm. I don't want to freak anyone out. Anyways, heads up, Florida, with the damn storms and winds and everything you guys are always getting. Thanks so much for being here, Lisa and Peter and everyone. I love you guys. A lot of you shared, most everyone that's here, you opened up and you shared your own experiences and some stories about your parents, maybe some stories about your husbands or wives and your kids about seeing the UFOs, and some of you even have some of your family members watching the channel. So that's like extremely super cool. I'm happy with the captures this year, guys. A UFO leaving the surface for the first time in my 6 years of research. I never saw that in my life, was ever able to film that. I've seen a craft on the surface before, but it's not a craft. I can't say it's a craft. It's a light. It's a ball, a real golden ball of a sphere, like a metal ball that's emanating this yellow, bright, screen digital electrical like light. You ever notice that? And I see those two differences. I see the fire balls, okay, like the UFOs that have fire, but I see the ones that are fizzing like digital. It's just a bright. I can't even explain it. Actually, it's hard to explain. That's why it's important to document the characteristics. Really is. Thanks so much, Lisa. Thanks, you guys. I love you guys so much. Scrolling down here, Nikki W. What's the time? Am I doing good? I'm always far. I never want to scroll to the bottom. Peter Benton. That I'm going to say thank you for maybe the 25th $4 that you give that I never see, because I noticed last stream you also contributed. I didn't get a chance to thank you, and I appreciate that, man. Means a lot. Watch Women of the Dragon in the house. Hi. Susan's here. Susan Jane. Hello, Susan Jane. Nikki's in the house. Josefa Martinez in the house. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. How's it going? I am Kai. Bro, how you feeling, man? I hope you are doing a lot better. Larry's in the house. Larry Bruyette. Thank you very much. Disclosure will always be secretive. 100%. It distracts people from the real issue, political shenanigans. Yeah, you're 100% right about that. And whenever they disclose something, it's always for their benefits, and it's always to trigger or to do something for another country like China or Russia watching. You can be sure of that. The thing that interests me is that some of the leaks that are coming out from the inside. We talk and discredit the FBI and the CIA, but do you know that inside the CIA and even the FBI, there are people inside that have to be there for good and that want to protect the country. They have to want to be there for that. And that sometimes when something happens, as secretive as the FBI and CIA agents are, they're able to leak out any problems maybe occurring in the country. And that's why, honestly, we have a lot of leaks sometimes. People, like, you hear leaks from Edward Snowden, and then he even moved to Russia. You got to wonder why, because the governments are doing things behind our backs and they're not telling us about it. And it's important that we know about it. Divine Sorcerer, thank you so much, my brother. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it. Guys, please check out, of course, Gate Smasher too. Got to check out the stats channel. I have so much fun on Julie's channel. But the Divine Sorcerer does investigations and knows a lot about the other side. And some people share with others some of the experience. And I always like going over his channel. Man, thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Philip, Kara from Iowa's in the house. Thank you, guys. Hey, Joël, comment ça va? Merci, Joël. How's it going, Leah? I'm using my laptop today and not used to it. It is not letting me see the comments and type. Give it hell, Leah. Computers sometimes, eh? Stay out of the woods, Bruce. Who knows? UFOs could be flown by engineered mutants. Yeah, from the biotech labs you mentioned. See, that is very scary, and it's true, Matt ST or Matt Street. Absolutely. It's very, very true. And it could be that it's not a being and that it's just radiation. Anything that's close to it that looks at it, it'll be zapped or something like that. Well, but it would be a confirmation, eh? The guy tells everyone, I'm leaving to go to the woods tonight to do a film, and I come back and I don't come back, I'm dead. Well, then you'll know. Well, turns out Bruce actually proved that there really are aliens or something, but it still wouldn't prove it. You're absolutely right, Matt. It could be anything. It could be anything. I, for one, also believe in the theory. One of the theories I brought up, maybe others have too. I haven't heard it from anyone else, that those lights that we're seeing around Earth could be the satellites of the aliens from other galaxies or inside of the solar system or far away, millions of light years away, where those lights can travel here at fast speeds. Maybe they teleport or they time travel, who knows, and they appear here to monitor, register, and to look to see what's going on. Because if not, I'm going to have to say US, China, or Russia, UK, France, it could be anybody by now, by this point, Israel, yeah, right, a couple of Jerusalem, they could have satellites that they have one hell of a system against defense, I'll tell you that, worth a lot of money. They can be roaming around Earth and viewing everything that people are doing. Could be other countries that are doing that with lights. Maybe they invented a satellite that can come down out of the sky really low, that has this free energy that makes it run all the time. It never has to recharge. It's always going up and down, climbing and descending in the atmosphere. Because, we got to agree to disagree, but satellites, once they get down, you don't come below 80,000 feet. Don't come below where you don't float there, okay? Because what's going to happen, a satellite can't stay afloat at 100 kilometers in the air there. It's not in space. It's going to come back down and crash to the ground. So why are we seeing lights come down to the ground? Why would I get a chance to see that at home, a light coming down to the ground? Look at it the way you want. When I told you guys that I saw that, less than 1 year after the pandemic hit and all hell broke loose. And as a matter of fact, when I showed that light, there was no talk of any UFO reports. The last UFO report, when I had filmed that light, had been over 50 years ago during the Roswell report. And we've only had 2 in 2021, which told us absolutely nothing, and 1 in 2022 recently, where again, they ruled out Jeremy Corbell's, in case you haven't heard this, Jeremy Corbell's video that he got from a pilot from the Navy, if I'm not mistaken, triangle that was flashing. There was a couple of them. They ruled it out as sensor problems in the cameras. So at the meeting, they asked them, did you guys in the military do any tests with your cameras to find out if those sensors are going to do it again? Because apparently it was a drone. But why apparently? They must know if it's a drone. The military, if he's there filming a hovering drone, they must have known there was some drone activity there. Usually it's the military driving around with drones. So there's a lot that has to do with that story that doesn't really make sense. But of course, that's what they do. You throw in disinformation. As a matter of fact, they don't even have to lie to you. They can just hold out and omit a whole bunch of things and not tell you certain things, and you probably wouldn't even know it. Anika, Child of Thoth, thank you so much. I know a little bit about the meaning maybe of what you mean by calling it Anika Child of Thoth. And thanks for the generous contributions, Anika, of course. Um, it has a lot to do with Egypt, doesn't it? Ancient Egypt. There's so much to learn and to understand and to know. And we all know a whole bunch of things about different cultures. And you ever notice how we're all staying stuck on certain parts of the religion? And I'm not going to say what my brother was mentioning the other day, talking to a guy he was interviewing, but some people grab religions and they change them, right? I don't know if it's syncretism, he said, talked about it. I'm not even going to get into it. But if you sit down and you look at all the different cultures, we're all the same. There's a little bit of a difference with one or two things. One person says one thing, one person says the other, or you have the same story with two different people with two different names from two different backgrounds. So be good in life and keep your heart and mind open to a higher being, if there is one that's a good being, and you'll find out because he's in your heart. You don't have to look for him. You don't have to go out and try to find him, try to fly through some stars like the James Webb is doing, thinking maybe he's going to see a doorway or some gate somewhere. He'll see they're looking at gates, all right, but it's not the pearly gates. They're looking at stargates. 13 stargates. They're working on the 13th one now, and they're all around Earth. In reality, no, apparently they're on the ground and they're controlling the stargates. So when people say there's 13 stargates around the world, we have a tendency of saying, oh, okay, are they floating around? You have underground communications here on Earth. Earth is being run by underground. The people that are on top of Earth are the puppets, like the presidents. They don't even know who's giving them orders, as a matter of fact. Clearances. There's clearances over the president. So many clearances over the president. Alliance Valat-là. Ben, merci beaucoup, mon frère, pour les généreuses contributions. Man, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here, Elias. Chickadee. I will. See, I'd have to look, Lisa, to see if they exist. They must, because I have a lot of ideals to be able to see the UFOs. It's never been done. And I, for one, have seen one close, and now close several times from 1,000 feet, maybe 1,500 feet. I'd be able to follow them. I'd be able to get a shot with an infrared drone high enough, and I think that would be pretty incredible to be able to catch UFO. And of course, well, I'd be able to get to the woods with a drone because I know somebody that lives in front of the woods, maybe borrow his lot, and with the drone, I'd be able to fly up over the along the border. That'd be so cool. Oh boy, that would be cool. I will, Chickadee. Yeah, I will look into that, you guys. I promise. Thanks for welcoming everyone, Lisa. Gate Smasher in the house. Do solar flares, Leah says, affect Wi-Fi as well as us? I would say, I believe yes to both. Probably no proof on it, but they've said since a long time that sun can cause cancer and it causes sunspots. You know, when you go on Google and you type in sunspots, you'll see a lady with her face full of patches. They don't send you to, but here's the thing. It causes a lot of blackouts and radio frequency problems all the time when that radiation comes towards Earth. November 3rd, have any of you around the world had any problems? And I'm probably going to scare a couple of people, but on November 3rd, have any of you had electrical devices that either stopped working, that started smelling like smoke, or that surcharged, or again, completely stopped working? On November 3rd, the magnetosphere around Earth opened up. And it's not something that happens very often, they say. And what happened is particles from the sun entered the atmosphere, and there was dangers for radio frequencies. Me for one, I noticed that lots of problems on the internet and Wi-Fi going on and off when the sun is active. It could be strictly coincidence. I honestly don't believe it's coincidence. I'm able to not predict, but to tell you guys exactly the day before there's going to be an earthquake or volcano very easily by looking at the sun. And if you look it up, they tell you that the sun is not going to tell you the weather, but the sun is in complete control of all volcanic activity here on Earth. All volcanic activity. So the way Earth is acting, a lot of people don't realize that it's all those planets around and where they're situated that's actually causing the exact every event that's occurring here. Maybe not every event, because now we have CERN, we have HARP. They're beaming out into the ionosphere with thin microwave beams, to be able to regulate and control the weather. So the weather has been weaponized, and now if one country is wanting to attack another part of the world using weapons like weather weapons, I think that would be something, one, they would never be able to prove, probably. And at the same time, it would be something very devastating that would completely take control of, destroy any country they wanted to, by either flooding them out, by shaking them up, causing volcanic activity, by causing storms. We're seeing the testing that they're doing, whether it be because of climate change or not. Hey, they're talking about a flip, talking about the poles on the sun flipping, very close to flipping, and I'm seeing a lot of people talking about that. And hey, Mary Gilling in the house from the UK. Thank you so much. Damn right, Ackman. Damn right. Kaliko 101 in the house. Thank you so much. So, buddy, there's Maid God Apollo up there, buddy. Yes. Oh, yeah. Hey, Star Hunter, the beautiful Rogue Valley. Thank you very much in the house. Bacon, buy a pig and cut it up yourself. Yes, absolutely. That's what we're all going to be doing in a couple of weeks when there's no more diesel. Looking bad with the diesel, eh, guys? What I did for the good of my family and country. Love you for it, man. Yeah, exactly. Because you did it for the good of your country. Why would somebody think that you're working for the elites, right? But that's what people do when there's problems in China. People say, the damn Chinese. But it's something bad to say, because it's the government, the CCP, that are the bad people, you know? Okay, they're hiring hackers, and that's something that they're under control. The Chinese are so under control. And yeah, China just got caught in the States doing something in the States again that we can't talk about. And the person had connections with someone from China, and the person is out of jail free card. It's absolutely disgusting what I found out. Coffee's good. Carol West. Thanks again, Carol, for becoming a member. Hello, everyone. Special blessings all around for an awesome Friday. Thank you so much. And as we move into the Sabbath this evening at sunset, I pray we all enjoy special blessings and answers to long awaited prayers. How beautiful is that? Thank you so much, Carol West. God bless. Oh, yeah. I thought so. And when I said that, if the guy's talking about bacon, it's because he's selling it. He's selling it. Gosh, tell me where your store is, and I'll order a whole shitload of bacon. Packages and packages of bacon. Now, don't send me a pig there. Don't be funny. I love you too, bro, and thanks so much to the Divine Sorcerer. You guys rock. I really appreciate that for the interest, you guys. There are at least 3 nasty sunspots facing us directly. Yeah, right now. One is sprouting, yes. Another small one, but is unstable or delta magnetic. 25% chance of X class flares. Yeah, Mix Mayhem. Isn't it odd that so far we're up to 2 or 3 times that we saw incredible large X class flares coming from tiny spots that had no reason or any doubt for scientists that there could have ever been an explosion coming from something that small. And there's a lot that we don't know about that sun. When you think of it, there's a lot that we don't know about the sun. Lots of things are occurring. It's absolutely incredible. Thanks so much, Beth. Thank you, Bruce. Getting ready to go to work. We'll sneak on tonight. Love you for it. Thank you. If I can, love you. Love the community. Love you more. And thank you so much, Beth. Have an amazing evening at work. Go share some truth and knowledge. And there's the Divine Sorcerer's link if you guys want to check out his channel. Give him some love. Another contributor to the channel and supports the channel. I am Kai's in the house. I lost my uncle Donnie. Sorry to hear about that. At age 18, shot in the chest in World War II. They were kids. And my cousin Jeff, age 19, in Vietnam, to a grenade thrown in his Jeep. Horrible, eh? And when you hear of that, the way he died, you understand that it was a free-for-all over there. You know, I mean, just to get around, and whether it be 2 a.m. or whatever, I mean, everyone was setting up the booby traps, and it was horrible. Definitely something horrible. And a lot of those people came back they were diagnosed with other things. Back in the days, there was another thing they used to give them, like called almost tremors, but they came back, and some of them, I saw one there was so sad. The person was always going like this. It was the nerves in his face were always twitching, and his ears were always going back, and his eyes were always like widening up. That's all from shell shock and shit, and you know, witnessing and you know, having war all around you and just losing it. A lot of people don't realize a lot of people go through that. You know how kids get traumatized, you know, by seeing their parents fighting or something, or seeing a death, or the parents die when they're young. Well, it's just like shell shock when you think of it. They get totally. It just makes mush with the mind. In reality, it's a hell of a good way to control someone's mind, send them off to war. Allez, va être là. Merci beaucoup, mon frère. Thanks a lot, brother. I'm so happy you liked it, UFO, Lisa. And there's not a lot of people that are going to see that video you watch, but I'm happy that all of you did. And it's important. I am lucky to be able to see them during a day like that. I'm up to not a lot. I think that's my 5th or 6th daytime UFO in 6 years of research, and always looking for them outside. Of course, we're not always outside. It's not always a nice day. But for those of you wanting to know what times to go outside and get the UFOs, I'm telling you guys, the moment the sun just went down on the horizon, you know where that time of the sky descends for the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it gets darker. Look in the clouds. Look at them coming from around the sun. You see lights all over the freaking sky during the day at that time. And then the minute the first darkness arrives in summer, 8:30, 9 o'clock, between 8 and 9 o'clock, look up in the sky. I call them the low sleepy ones. They start appearing really low. And, you know, there's lots of them out there. And it's important to document those characteristics to be able to show the world that they really exist. And I think it's a healthy thing that small groups of people are coming here to understand, you know, what we're looking at together. We're none of us are stupid here. We all know that what I filmed is not a plane, even though we have no idea what they are. They're literal UFOs. We'd like to see it like a movie, a lot clearer, but I don't think we're going to see it a lot clearer. As a matter of fact, my videos are a lot clearer than what the military is showing. And I just believe that they're deliberately pixelating the videos, making them look bad, maybe. Mary says, I've seen a Tic Tac shaped UFO in UK back in September at 4:30 a.m. Another time just before the sunlight comes up, just before the sunlight goes down, you will see some lights. Very bright and white, no other colors. Awesome. Awesome. And I'm surprised. Hey, you said white, eh? So like just a literal white glowing light like a star. With the naked eye, the ones I'm seeing around here are like orangey salmon color, really bright orange, like there's a chemical coming off of these objects that's not quite like something normal. Stephanie Kerr, thanks again for being here. His Highness, thanks, man. And thanks for the comments, guys. And I get really upset. His Highness had told me, had sent me some emails and I didn't see them. And I think it's the lamest thing to get replied when somebody says, I sent you an email and I didn't see them. I know it sounds like bullshit, but it's not. My emails are full and I delete a lot of them, the most as I can. And I try not to tell too many people that I get 200 emails a day, 238 yesterday. And there was 230 of them were Penny Bunny and the other trolls that are subscribing me to a whole bunch of different groups and clans like the KKK, the elites at one point, the Illuminati. You go and look in the book and someone signed my name, Bruce Schwartz. It's like, and this is for real there. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. Do you know Bruce Schwartz comes out in so many places? Maybe that's why they're hiding me. Do you know there's a Bruce Schwartz on the World Economic Forum? Do you know that Bruce Schwartz is in charge of the criminal division for the United States of America? Bruce Schwartz. It's a name that comes up a lot. Maybe if there weren't so many popular Bruce Schwartzes, more than me, I'm not talking about me, popular, well-known Bruce Schwartzes, maybe I would have more people seeing my videos. I don't know. Well, I've always wondered. Bake it up. I've been doing it always. Like here, me, it's something I always do in the month. I always get 1 or 2, sometimes even 3 pounds of the bacon, and it's good on everything. It's even good alone. Anyone ever listen to the research by Rudolf Steiner? I know a little bit about Rudolf Steiner. Not sure what century that dude is from, but his spiritual teachings are but mind-blowing. If I'm not mistaken, I thought he was like 1800s or beginning 1900s. I could be totally wrong, but that does ring a bell, actually. I need more coffee now. Scrolling down now, all the way down. I'm going down to see what's going on. Come on, I'm not going to say it. I was able to stay on with the eye. I'm so happy getting through it. Guys, we got to go some balls sometimes. Well, the guys, anyways. Sometimes you're sore. Something's, there's some allergies there. Your face is getting red. Who gives a shit? Hives. Mind over matter. I don't know if some of you believe in it, the healing, but I do. Because I've been able to heal everything that I've ever had without having to go to the hospital. Except when I die in an accident or something, then I won't be able to put myself back together. But so far, I'm doing pretty good. Joël, il est super. En tout cas, Paul Wallace, c'est un archbishop. Il a beaucoup de connaissances côté la religion et il a écrit des livres et il est connecté pas mal avec Gaïa et tout. Puis, ouais, si tu comprends un peu l'anglais, Paul Wallace is definitely a brother and of African descent, by the way, Paul Wallace. He just hiccups as an incredible way of explaining everything that has to do with the alien part of religion. But I don't think it's healthy for anyone to be fighting over that, because whether you believe in aliens or not, don't feel that you don't feel offended. Don't feel you're wrong. It's a perception. Somebody says, well, whoever's on the moon is an alien. Well, what is an alien to you? An alien is something that we're not familiar with. It's something that we don't know of. We have some alien architecture here on Earth, but it's not meaning alien extraterrestrial, which it could be. It's just alien to us. We don't know where the culture is from or something like that. So that's like, excuse me, like the objects in the sky that we see that we call UFOs. It's not all green men. A UFO is quite simply an unidentified flying object. If I throw my garbage in the neighbor's yard and he sees it flying by and doesn't know what it is, it's a UFO. I hope my neighbor's not listening. Wouldn't want him to think I'm putting garbage in his lawn. That's a good idea. I'm kidding, of course. Two wrongs don't make a right, right? Damn right, Stephanie. Totally agree with that. Well, isn't that nice to hear? Now, these are the things I like to hear. Thank you very much, my very informed friend. Can I say something? Guys, on this channel, I have the ladies are so awake on this channel and in this community, and they know a lot about space stuff as compared to some of the guys. There's a lot of smart women on this channel, boy, I tell you that. But I think it's awesome because I really don't think there's an age to understanding or to be interested in space and to finding out truth, right? But it puts us all at the same age. It puts us all on the same level and frequency, I find, trying to find out these things. And there's so many different theories. And if some of my theories that you disagree with, feel free to share that. There's nothing wrong with it. That you disagree with a theory, tell me why you disagree with a theory. But again, me, it's just theories, right? So I'm not hard to convince. If you tell me that, Bruce, what do you think of flat Earth? A lot of people ask me. And I said, well, I don't do research on flat Earth, but I think those that are researching it, hats off. I think it's cool. Kelly Kramer, I found you years ago, but last track of the channel, just found you again. So happy. Kelly, I thank you very, very much. A lot of people disappear from the channel. And some people have a hard time reaching the channel most of the time. Jeez, am I having that many problems here? Wire in my foot here. There we go. So the date is set for the total disclosure, April 23rd, 2023. That's interesting because that is also about the time, if I'm not mistaken, that the elites are going to be pretty much incapable of continuing to do what they're doing. It's good is winning over evil. That's for sure. They're just running out their last few days or hours or weeks or months or hopefully not years that they have left. I am looking forward to that disclosure. And you know what I'm looking forward to, Lisa? I'm looking forward to totalitarian disclosure. No, a total disclosure. I want them, or just a part, okay? I just want them to say that the lights that they're seeing come from the moon, something like that, so that we can all sit and gloat in this finding, because I don't know about you guys. I'm sure that you're pretty as excited as me, if maybe some of you more excited, but I'm like a kid, okay, that's waiting for his gift, that he knows he's going to get his gift, but he's just waiting for the day to come to be able to open it. And I know in my heart that someone is on the moon, and it has nothing to do with my heart. Actually, it's the visual proof that I found. So before sharing beliefs, I share the visual proof. So something is up there on the moon, alien or human or both. But again, it's just, that's why I say that there's a being on the moon, because no matter what type of being is there, there still is a being on the moon. Or, like some of you said, even one of them here today, and some in the past, it could be controlled objects. And that is something I really am into. Okay. You said it, Kai. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Elias. Oh gosh, did I forget what I was gonna say? Hold on. Darn. Darn, that was important. I wanted to say that. Had to do with who's on the moon, and I guess I'm not gonna remember that. That was something important I wanted to share with you today. Actually, that's what was going to be an hour conversation, but I don't remember now, so we'll think of something else. Rank has its privileges. I don't have any. That rank has its privileges. That's exactly it. I believe that. And up higher up in the ranks, well, there's some talk and there's some decision making for sure. So you have 1,000 people working on a project, and you have 100 people in charge of the project. You have 50 people in charge of the bosses on the project. When you have 25 people, and they come down to the 10, the 5, the 2, the 1, and probably the God or whoever is doing all of these secret projects that everything's hidden, eh? They said it, like at Area 51, they got everyone and everything is compartmentalized. So you have an agent or a scientist like Bob Lazar working in S4 in one section. He said it himself. I'm not inventing this. Bob spoke partly about this. It's that in other rooms, when he finishes what he's doing on a project, whether it's he's starting on it or ending on it, it's going to all these different areas and different bays and whatnot to do different work on it. The person that gets an object doesn't know what the object is, probably doesn't know what it's used for. So they can keep secrets about certain things, and they can have very smart people working on these UFOs without knowing anything. Like the guy can go home and say, "I was working on this object to compress air." What for? Well, I don't know, right? And you can't bring the information back to your wife. I bet you they're all tapped. All their phones are tapped. Bob Lazar's phone was tapped. I don't know if it was before he spoke out about it, but it was tapped. So many people here today. That's awesome, you guys. So I have to hide and just go down and not look at. Hey, OTW News is in the house. Thank you very much, brother, for stopping by the house. You guys want to check his channel out? He's also doing interviews, getting to the nitty gritty truth, some truth seekers. That's what we're all here to do. Karen Massey, I found you today. I liked your video, had the ancient art showing what, oh, yes, looks like alien craft in the skies. Thank you for that feedback. I'm happy you gave me that feedback. The art was some of the best examples of flying craft during those times. Thank you. So, yes, in historical art, I wanted to show the ones where there was no doubt about what they were showing were spaceships. It wasn't a star. It wasn't, God in the heavens. You can see rivets around the spaceships. You can see the star-like that they made around it with the nose of the fuselage that's going forward, and it's on each side. And what's very important to note with that, Karen Massey, like yourself, and just for the followers that haven't seen it, or followers. I'm thinking, speaking of God, talking about followers. I don't like calling my community followers because I'm not a prophet, but the supportive community. supportive community saw that and said, you know, how come the page is blinking? Hold on. I'm losing my concentration. Yeah, spaceships are definitely in those historical images. And it just so happens, this is what I wanted to say, it's during the supposed baptism of Christ and sometimes a crucifixion, and they show that over. So it's to represent that they were there doing something at the Last Supper. The image of the Last Supper, you see a man outside, looks like a scribe, pointing up to the sky at a UFO while Jesus at the table, Magdalene's gone, at the table, the Last Supper. And you can see it outside by the beams and the columns. And you could all go see on the original image. I know a lot of you know that UFO is there, but for the ones that do a lot of research and don't know it's there, do go and see it, because it's surprising to see that in of all images, guys, the Last Supper. Imagine. Thank you so. Thanks, Gate Smasher. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to look into this. Start of the IR drone fun or bacon, whichever. Yeah, a bit of both. $250 on bacon and thanks so much, man. No, that is totally a good idea. And of course, well, yeah, gonna be able to venture. There's no wires there and anything either. No lights on the road, by the way, where they landed those UFOs, where they were taking off from the surface either. So thank you so much, Gate Smasher. Susan Ravella. Thanks, guys. I friggin' wish it has to come up. Disclosure has to come up. We disclosed the moon here, that's for sure. They're up on the moon. We just don't know who it is. For sure they're there. We're getting up there, Darla. Maybe we can make it to 300 likes. No, that would be crazy. You never know. The CERN is out there to stop the harmonic balance of other countries' ability to fly. That's definitely another thing. I think maybe even HARP can have to do a little bit with that. CERN, yeah. How is that affecting Earth's rotation even? They are smashing atoms 24/7. Every second there are millions, if I'm not mistaken, of collisions. That is all recorded. Every one of those collisions are recorded on a computer. They're creating new elements, which is not a good thing. They're creating dark matter. They're opening portals, black holes. No danger, they say, because they're only this big, right? People are talking about the dangers of CERN sucking up the entire Earth. They're destroying, sucking it into itself. Of course, maybe that's not the goal of what they're doing, but the dangers, some of the dangers of that, yes. And the biggest dangers of that, guys, are the wars that we're having. What do other countries aim for, right? They aim for all those things, the oil, gas, and stuff. And now they're going to be looking for bases and ballistic missiles underground. The goal is to stop the countries from becoming strong. As a matter of fact, is it crazy to say that if it wouldn't been for the wars, we'd probably be dead? Because someone would have gotten that strong. And we need someone that is so bloody strong, that has the absolute power, that wouldn't have to ever fight anyone, nor ever be attacked. And that way, the world could hold peace. If somebody was armed to his teeth with tech that nobody else has, but that didn't use it, gosh, don't use it. Just hold it there as a threat to anyone that wants to take down the West or whatnot. But they don't do that. They test and they test, right? Look at all the situations that came up, guys. North Korea, Taiwan, China, Taiwan, and then Nancy Pelosi goes and visits Taiwan. Then there's protests after that. Then all hell breaks loose. It's almost funny. Honestly, it's almost funny. Lisa B, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I guess I'm gonna get a drone. Infrared drone. Look out, trolls. Arg. We'll be able to see fur with the drones. Thank you, Lisa B. That'd be something incredible. Yeah, a lot of military base also in the area, out just in the town. Lots of things I'd be liking to take a look at for sure. Wow, Darla, thank you so much. I guess I'm gonna have to find a drone, infrared drone. Since I don't know anything about drones, I'm assuming they're under $5,000. Things are expensive. Absolutely. Husband and I are enjoying the memes on your channel. Hey, awesome, Susan. Hey, thanks for checking out our channel. Daniel's here. Hello from the bedroom. Let me scroll down here to see who's here because I like to stay up to date. Dwayne's here. Daddy of 13. Big love and respect from Scotland. Thank you very much. This is major fighting going on with the cabal and reptilians in the skies. Space wars were really there, Lisa. That's what they're saying. They're saying that that's another thing with the beings. I can't wait to find out credible information about those beings that really like disclosure. I know we know a lot about them, but disclosure. I really want it to come out. It would be so amazing. I made it to 3:00 with the eye. Doing good here. Oh, how rude. Cricket. So when you guys see crickets, you'll know that I'm off playing with my eye. The reality. Elios is at work today. His Highness. Lazar, the gay, no, Jesus, Murph. I got to stop watching the left woke videos. Lazar, the Gov, found out his mothers were cheating on his wife, his mom's, his mother's. Find out his Mars was cheating on him. That's why he was removed. They didn't tell him why, and he rebelled. Actually, yeah, no, I know that part of the story too. Yes, while they were tapping his line, they came to find out that Bob Lazar's girlfriend or whatnot, girlfriend, was actually having a relationship, was cheating on him with someone else. So they mentioned it to him, and it was at the same time he found out that his line was tapped and stuff. So it's like, that was a screwed up story, but you're right about that. Oh yes, way back 1951, supposedly one of the first times that they dropped with a patent they had created, not long after the date that you just mentioned there, 1930, a patent to weaponize a procedure with chemicals in the sky to be able to divert and change directions of hurricanes and to cause them to remain in place and to cause them to dump down water, like we've seen in Florida. We see the hurricane stopped at Fort Myers, or I don't remember where it was. Anyways, Naples and a whole bunch of areas were destroyed, completely destroyed. And this hurricane was sitting over them, traveling at like 3 miles an hour, grabbing the water and dumping the water in there. We saw the water go up to the cameras that were 8 to 12 feet up into the trees, and there was a lot of water. We're talking like 8, 10, 12 feet of water, and maybe I'm not even close. Maybe the water even got that much higher. Hard to believe that it could go that high. Yes, 8 a.m. Keep looking, Mick. Tony D, is it possible that they have not only time traveling people, but back engineered craft to like what Andrew Basiago, has been harping on about for ages? Absolutely. And Andrew Basiago, one who declared having gone to Mars in an archaeological dig site underground where they had built a Stargate, that he was teleporting there with his father. I don't know how much time it was taking him, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. I was saying he was teleporting there in a flash, but I don't think it was in a flash. He explained all that too. And you wonder, who is that, right? Like, who is this guy that all of a sudden they're talking about? And always interested me, the stories about Andrew Basiago. Yes. Lisa goes cricket too. Ron, how's it going, man? Wisnowski, thank you very much, sir. Thanks, you guys. Hey. Carol, I am honored. Trust me, I am honored. I'm lucky, considering a lot of, like, there's no support. YouTube doesn't share the channel. If you guys don't come here, nobody does. But you guys are actually coming to the channel, not because you're getting notified, or a few of you maybe are, but most of you are coming here because you want to look at the channel, and Daddy of 13 feels my pain. Get used to it, Daddy of 13. I like choosing. I choose comment replies and make them for myself sometimes. No, I'm kidding about that. Annette. Hello, Annette. Thank you so much. Pike's here. Yes. Thanks, you guys. Hey, Patricia Parker in the house. And thanks for all the comments, Patricia. Hi, Bruce. Good to hear you again. Got my mug full and ready to listen again. Always interesting here. We talk about some good stuff. Always a pleasure. We do talk about some very interesting things. Oh, no, we don't want that. Bruce, do you think we went to the moon? If so, do you think Neil Armstrong saw a craft on the edge of the crater? There's a good question. And that's one that, if somebody is smart enough, is going to ask me that, because I say a lot of things about aliens, about humans being up there. So get this. How do I feel about them going to the moon? I saw a lot of lies come out in what they declared doing to have prepared to going there. The Hasselblad camera, or Hasselblad, or it is Hasselblad, I think. The camera that they use, it was impossible for them to have used that on the moon if the temperatures that they say is on the moon are real. There would have been a lot of dust in the camera. Also, I don't think that they went the way they told the public that they went. And as for seeing parked on the sides of the craters, listen, it's hard to say that they didn't go if they're talking about things like that. Like, why would he integrate that lie, right? Like, I'm like it would make sense, I guess, that if he said that and that he didn't go. But could he have possibly seen footage, or been using drones or something from in the atmosphere? Did they actually go down? I really don't know. I think, without necessarily confirming, that it was Stanley Kubrick that filmed parts of the Apollo 11 landing in studio and partly in the Nevada desert. I did see in American Moon Video, I think that was a title. I saw that there's a lot of things, Obi, that do not make sense. Like, they couldn't have used certain apparatus that they had. They ran out of fuel, and at one point they took off anyways. And all the stories of them having lost the footage because it was destroyed when they came back because they opened up the camera or something like that. There's a lot of bullshit in that, but they did talk about having seen something on the moon. So I think there could be a possibility that they were sent there on a mission, and that maybe they didn't land because of what they saw. But if they landed, they would have done it in secrecy, and they would have had a film. Imagine how they would have had to have pulled this off. They would have had to pull off Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and Houston communicating with them, but by applying another image or creating an image at the same time. So in other words, when he says one great leap for mankind, he would have had to have the scene of him getting off. So it's possible that they could have done that very easily to pretend that they didn't go. I know somebody that worked on the missions, and she gave me Linda gave me a beautiful image of her a family member that was working on the oxygen apparatus on one of the missions, Apollo missions, and she told me, she says, "My God, I would never tell him that she doesn't believe that they went because he says they went, but he wouldn't know if they didn't." Because everyone was hired to work on a mission, and they were working. They were really getting things done to do something possibly, but was it a bum way of getting thousands of people involved with the process and paying millions of dollars to these people over a year or 2 years to pretend they were going to the moon, or that they decided they wanted to go to the moon, but that they weren't going to tell the public? So I believe they didn't tell the public, and if they went without telling the public that they went. Buzz Aldrin's Neil Armstrong's story about seeing UFOs on the crater, I'm skeptical, not about what he said, actually. I'm skeptical about him having maybe been on the surface to talk about it. But you know what? It's the hardest question that you just asked me, because it's a question that is a hell of a good question. And it's a hard question to answer because no, I don't 100% believe they went to the moon. I don't 100% believe that they didn't go either. Even the people that say, "Oh, they never went," they never went. Well, the Pentagon could be there now, right? I mean, at one point, maybe humans did break away from Earth and were able to actually go and land on the moon. It would be so easy and that would explain why I'm seeing so many things crash on the moon in a little bit of time that I've been filming the moon. 6 years, 7th year now, seen a lot of things crash onto the moon. MC3 Burns in the house. Yeah, Kazoo. He's got his shirt Floyd sent him. The only thing, he doesn't have any pants, but he doesn't want to put any on. I tried. He doesn't want to put any on. As a matter of fact, the other day, he was asking me to take my pants off, and I didn't want to. So I stopped asking him to put on pants, but I don't bring it up anymore. So be careful if you bring it up. I don't want him to. I would be very embarrassed if a little gray alien rapes a big man, 250 pounds. No, I know he's not going to rape me. He doesn't have any waggler. He's got nothing. No jingles, no waggler. No wiggler. Oh, we have fun with Kazoo. Kazoo, I was going to put him out on Halloween night, but with a bowl, see if the kids would leave him out beside the cedars with a bowl of candy and no pants. Maybe I would have had problems with that one. Actually, Annette, it's in Carefree, Arizona. Carefree, Arizona is the exact town that Marty lived in with his wife. He bought himself an older mansion, a nice big house, and fixed it up, and was building himself. Yes, Fetterman, yes. Poor guy. He was building himself an observatory. Marty had bought himself a 16-inch telescope, which I hope his son is now going to be using or trying maybe to continue that. I don't know what the family's going to do and stuff. They were very nice family. Marty used to contribute to the channel, was a good contributor and supporter and a friend. So I was supposed to go down to Marty's in Carefree, and he hadn't told me that he was sick and he passed away, unfortunately. We wanted to go from Carefree to Nevada and visit some of the towns there and go to Area 51. Tikaboo Lake is where I was headed. USA is the only country in 2023 that is going to keep the mandates going, and no Canadian or anyone entering your country can enter the country if we're not vaccinated. So for me, until 2023, it's still, I won't be able to go to the States ever until they change that. I mean, going into the source of the problem, the US government, just putting foot in that territory, I'm going to feel all the evil that's there underground and everything that's going on. There's a lot going on right underneath us. Nobody knows it. Well, lots of people know it now or feel it. Fauci probably has a space station floating, of course, by now, with all the money he recently made, him and his wife, around where he does his experiments, like in the movie Rampage. Yes, probably, most likely, and probably so, for sure. Yes. Glasses on. Glasses on. I'm going to be getting some for the computer, the blue blockers too. That will help. That will definitely help too. Brainworms. Area 51 is the magician's right hand. I like that expression. Distracting you whilst the left hand is doing something else. Yeah. You guys are awake. That's exactly what's going on. You bet. All eyes on Area 51, right? They do anti-gravity propulsion and stuff. Meanwhile, at Area 52, that's what's going on. Beautiful Arizona. I highly doubt that, Penny. Block. Oh, the mods got to the girls. Oh, you didn't give me the time for me to check out the girls. Oh, well, okay. Must have been a troll. Girls S69 XYZ. Beautiful girls here. Poor Penny. Ben, thank you so much, brother. Thank you very much, man. Very, very generous, you guys. Thank you very much. Oh, they were fast, the mods. They only were able to post twice, too. Plum Island, oh, yes, is a sketchy place, too. Yeah. All these, oh God, I would love to visit these places. Wouldn't it be incredible? Wouldn't it be incredible? Like meeting up, like 5-10 people always funding together. We put maybe $1,000 together every time, and we go to these places to explore, like like that island in New York. That island in New York where they buried some people during the pandemic too, which over the years they buried people there. There's lots of places and islands I'd like to visit. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. What is a place where most UFOs have been spotted? It's funny you say that. Canada, they say Montreal is the capital, UFO capital of the world. So when you look online, you see that there's lots of videos, I believe, coming from places like Brazil, maybe Venezuela. We see a lot of UFOs in the sky, but you ask anyone, any ufologists or anyone that talks about the UFO sightings, Canada, the sightings are pretty high. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're the highest in the world. But I really don't know. They call Montreal the UFO capital. There are shitloads of UFOs here in the sky, but they don't all come down out of the sky. There's definitely something to that. Maybe I do have a connection with them. I think it's incredible. If I can get to see them again like that. Thanks again, Beth Noyce. What did I miss again? I must have missed something here. Ben, thanks again, brother. Hey, thanks, you guys. I'm just coming down to see what's going on. I better scroll all the way down. I get it. I better scroll all the way down. Thanks again, Remy 333. Connie Lingus, hugs, Bruce, hugs back. Thank you, Connie. Awesome, you guys. Thanks for the comments too. Shine the lights here. Maybe stars are not what the science cult tell us. I think you're right. I think you're very right about that. that's something I can't rule that out. The soldiers have amazing uniforms to wear in space, are amazing. Yeah, I mean, talk about Star Trek, and it must be pretty incredible. As a matter of fact, Lisa, I would love just to be able to be on the maintenance there, like maybe in charge of getting the suits clean for them or something, so I can check things out, see what's going on up there. But then I'd be stuck in space with my information. David Donlin, I'm missing some comments for sure. It's always like that. I'm going to try to scroll down. Thank you again, Lisa, for everything, you guys. Red Rum's in the house. I have vids of mermaids in our time. Have you all seen them? I've not seen any mermaids, but apparently those are things that exist. You know what I did see? I saw a gigantic beast of a disgusting fish-like jellyfish creature right in Valleyfield beside a company that they've been dumping barrels of dye from the cotton mill that was there since the end of the 1800s. And there are weird fish that have several eyes there, like you see in The Simpsons, by the way. Fisherman stories. I've heard them all, but they're real. And what I saw had two giant nostrils as big as the cup, as big as my cup, the opening of the cup. Had antlers that were as big as a tree branch. Okay. I saw this. I saw this in the water with two other people. And you know what, guys? Whether you believe me or not about that story, but whether you believe me about what I'm going to tell you right now, the people I saw the shadows moving around with, and that we had problems with entities and spirits following us, is my friend Eric and JP. We've always been together. Sometimes Gaetan, the brother, was there too. We've always encountered the weirdest phenomena when we are together camping or fishing. It's always been, this was a long time ago. Eric saw it. He was disgusted by it, took the kids away. We left that area. It was as big as a pickup truck, a big Dodge pickup truck hood with the windshield. And that was just the nose, the head, and the eyes there. And the problem that I had is that that's in Valleyfield, where it's a fake river that they created by bringing the water from the other lake, and they made a fishery out of there. I don't know what you call it, with fish inside to conserve the trout fish. This was a long time ago in Valleyfield. And that area, there's a plane or two that land there on the water. I think the guy actually has that river there because he has a plane with skis on it and wants to land there, right? And in that water has that giant effing creature that I saw. I saw that with my own eyes. Only a couple weeks after that, we saw my friend's shadow moving. We went into the woods. We saw physical people there. This wasn't an illusion, in red hoods that made a fire on a weeknight, a Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. And they were all there doing satanic rituals, and we saw them and everything. And in those woods, there's always evil entities that apparently appear there. This is beside the Sablo in St. Polycarp, where I was. I went to St. Polycarp. There's an old nudist colony island that used to be there. And what they did is they dug, a pit, just pulling out gravel. And back in the 50s and 60s, the Hells Angels members used to go and dump the bodies there of people that they, regulated deals that went bad or whatnot. And you have a lot of cars there with the asses sticking out from the 50s and 60s, drag cars and whatnot, probably running some of the cars off the into that pit. So there's a lot of energy there in that area. And I don't know why certain entities stick around in certain woods, or why they're in dark areas like that. It must have to do. I mean, you can't say that we're seeing spirits in the woods because they want to scare people there. But why the hell are they appearing more there than anywhere else? would have been impossible answering every comment. I would have loved to have tried, though. Crypto Zoos, Pat Scanlon, Ireland in the house. Thank you very much, you guys. We see in our skies are from our military. Yeah, that could be what we see from the skies can be our military. When I see something taking off from the surface that appears out of nowhere, scares the hell out of me, because imagine, in theory, if it could be something alive, a real alien entity coming to our plane, okay, on this physical plane. That is scary stuff. But again, it's just theories, but I'm very skeptical about those lights. I think the problem is there are three different types of lights that are being seen, but they look the same. Could be a spirit, one could be demons, some say, but if they're not drones, I mean drones, they'd have to come up with a technology to make photonic energy around drones or free energy. And I don't know about the drones. Drones usually make a lot of noise. They still do. And you see the ones in the war with Ukraine, they're the stupid drones that they're using to drop shit. Pretty sure that that's because they're advanced enough to only to do that. And if it would have been lights dropping off plasma bombs, well, when we get to that point, it could be that it's not something alien. Dwayne White in the house. Thanks, Dwayne, for being here, and thanks for being a member, you guys. Really appreciate it. Anyone see that sort of creepy black eye channel? No, I haven't heard of that one. There are some creepy channels. I like some of them are really awesome. Bruce, have you seen Alternative 3, the documentary? I have not, my friend. I'll have to check that out. There's lots to see, eh? There's so much to see. Darla, thanks so much for sharing my address. If those who do not know, I live in a box. My address is 341, and you can send me UFO parts, ancient scriptures, anything you want to send me. Hate mail, just don't send any anthrax. It is possible we could be living in the body of what? Yeah, that's what I like hearing. That's what I like hearing. I mean, I go all out sometimes and turn around and say, as a theory, just thinking of it, what if we are inside of a drop of blood? Like the whole universe. What if the whole universe is inside of a drop of blood? And everything we perceive as the perception around us is not really what it is. Like I say, I still wouldn't be surprised if maybe we're fish in an ocean. Fish don't know they're breathing in water, now do they? With their gills, and then they get out in the side and they're like, buck, 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 can't breathe. Why? What's going on? What's going on? We go to space, we can't breathe, we're back in the water, right? No. Fish comes out of the water, can't breathe, but he goes back. So if a fish comes to Earth, when we start seeing fish leaving the oceans with little astronaut suits, we're screwed, because they'll be on to us. But you know what? We may be billions of years away from that happening. Or maybe that's what we were fish people, you know? And then some genius alien came down and did a few changes on the DNA and fixed our hands that aren't webbed anymore. Now we just hide the webbed hands. The people that have webbed hands and webbed feet still exist very much. I knew someone when I was younger at school that had webbed toes. Probably a pretty good swimmer too. Jean-François Cazat, bonsoir à toi. Thanks, man. Burns in the house. Subterranean oceans have so many areas under the ocean floors are way more than above the ground. Yes, and I'll tell you what, in the bottom of the oceans, there are areas where you can enter these tunnels, apparently, and there's like, it's dry and there's no water. I mean, I believe that. I believe in the bottom of the ocean, there's areas and tunnels that you can get in where maybe the water gets in, or there's a gap where there's oxygen there and you can probably breathe and live underneath with all the water that's around you. And of course, if not, well, I tend to even think that we talk about terraforming the moon. They're probably even terraforming Earth, as a matter of fact, to be able to have the atmosphere around it. I was talking with that this afternoon again with Lisa, which is an interesting subject. Definitely an interesting subject. Thanks for being here, Lisa. Ralph, how's it going, man? Thanks, you guys. Anika, a child of thought. Thanks again, for being here. Love you for it. Julie, thanks so much for doing so. I got a silly music channel, guys. Bruce's music on when I'm working on stuff to have a background soothing tunes. I thank you so much. How cool is that? With the volume down a little bit, because sometimes Bruce goes, yeah, I go high and I go loud. These are fake smiles. I'm always deliberately smiling because I'm a sad person. Try to pretend I'm happy. You have to be happy in life. I think the worse your life is, ever notice people how they really have it bad? They're always smiling. It's like they've given up on trying to not given up, but they've accepted fate. I believe a certain path, even though there's a path chosen for us, I believe we have a choice of which path we can take. Do you agree with that? Maybe we have a goal to meet, but that we don't have to walk a straight line to get to it. You can walk around in paths and stuff like that. But don't forget, they say walking in a straight line is a fast way to get to a point. So instead of going around, just say to yourself when you have to go around a tree, well, it might take a couple more weeks, right? Something happens. And if you're like me, well, my life went up really fast, started going up too fast and too well at a really fast pace. And then it went free fall. Like it happens to many people. Say like Lisa says, do your homework, folks. And that's how it is. Lisa, me, if somebody can say something about a certain being or a certain project, I always go and look it up myself. There's opinions that people give with some of the findings. And so head over to Bruce's music channel if you want a good laugh. I do a lot of first attempts there. I try to sing. As a matter of fact, if you want to hear me singing How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees, you can imagine how funny that could be. Got the videos are up there. I made that channel thinking all the trolls would flood there to attack there while I'm making space videos here. But instead, I have an incredible community that supports me and went over there to give me comments. So now because of you guys, I have to try to make some good stuff on Bruce's music. I write a lot of music and poetry and stuff like that, and I show it in my music. So if you guys are curious to see what kind of a singer I am, go rate my singing. I just posted my first harmonica solo that no one believed me. Christmas, my very kind, I don't even know. I think it was, or did I buy it? I think my mother bought it. She says, how thoughtful. Gets me a gift, a harmonica. I got home and I made the video and called her up and I said, check it out. Laughed her head off. So what are you freaking serious? I can play instruments, all the ones that I pretty much touch. When my dad died, he had a small organ at home. And when my mom let me play on it, I was playing all the songs I was hearing on Sesame Street. And from Twinkle, no, there was nothing like, I wasn't singing Rush at that time. More like Twinkle Little Stars and Mary Had a Little Lamb. 5 years old, 6 years old, I was able to to play because I have the ear for music. Me, it's soothing. Playing music for me is really something that relaxes me and soothes me. How's it going, The Unknown? Yeah, I've seen 2 as a child and 1 again about 4 years ago. And co-worker, me and a co-worker, were on break, and she admitted to seeing it first. Wow, that's fun, when you're more than 1 people there, and it's still something you can't prove. We were 3 guys that saw that in the woods. When the cult was there. Some things, really weird things started happening. We saw lights in the sky. It wasn't UFO. It was like ghosts and stuff. Real creepy time to be in that woods. And we're wondering what the hell was going on. And we realized that every time we were together, something like that happened. In a car, talking to spirits, okay? He has a relative that was killed in a tragic way, and I have a family member that was killed in a tragic way also. So when we talk about them and we're together, um, we see stuff and things move. We hear sounds. The rooms get cold, lights flash, shadows move around. It's something incredibly awesome, and it's not scary at all because it's proof that there's something on the other side. I'm not venturing myself on the other side. I'm not going there. I'm just experiencing an open door where it seems that in a way the other side peeks in and we can see them sometimes, because I know there is another side. I saw that at a very young age, at 4 years old. My mother told me I was astral traveling on my back going down to my grandmother's that was downstairs a long time ago. Think of it, living in an apartment there. And I'd go down on my back and I'd travel through the hall. And then when I'd get near my grandmother, I'd turn and look, and then I'd look back up, and then I'd go back up to my room. So some people are infatuated with the stories of the dead and the spirits, and some people are into evil things like Satanism and everything. So some people sometimes have these stories that they can embellish on, or they lie about, because they maybe want to attract a paranormal group or something. So I'm going to say it again, and I always say it. That's what keeps the secret a secret. So no matter how convincing my story is, I could share an event of something that happened to me. And in general, most people it will still just remain a story. And it turns out that everyone's going to say the same things. Even if you had the experience, doesn't mean you're going to believe me. And everyone's going to say the same thing. He could be telling the truth, or he could be lying to grow his channel. But that's why I say it's an awesome thing that the ghosts protect themselves. You can't really prove it. I can film a ghost. I filmed the bag moving. Didn't impress too many people. People were like, why a garbage bag? Because I'm not choosing to move a garbage bag. I would have preferred the skull floating behind me, but it's not planned. But the other side really does exist. So I'll tell you all another little secret. What everyone calls ufology, it's it's not ufology. And I'm pretty sure the divine sorcerer, well, I'm not going to say he agrees with me, but probably knows it. And I've been saying it all along, especially around the time that he was coming by the channel. And thanks for the contributions, bro, by the way. But I believe the paranormal is more of the theme and owns more of all the fields in ufology. Really has to do with paranormal, has to do with entities, and not a craft that is flying in from another galaxy. Very scary that they could be saying it's aliens coming in when they know it's some type of demonic entity also. So I never rule out the fact that they're demonic entities, but the beautiful encounter and feeling and experience I had when I had a light 15 feet from me, it did not feel demonic. Whether it was or not, it didn't feel demonic. I can protect myself is the way I look at it. If you're for God for real, and you really believe or know that energy or strength, you'll be protected. You know, you know how some people say, vision yourself getting ahead in life, and you will. Well, it's all a vision. It's spirits in the house. For me, I got no problems protecting myself because I'm cheating because I have a way of pushing back evil energy around me, and it's God-given. I have no idea how I can do it. I can sit in a room with people, with 15, 20 people, and talking through experience with my mother would remember at the house when everyone says, my God, he's draining me of my energies. I didn't understand how strong that was when I was young. I saw it when I got mad in class. And I always get a little chuckle about it because I always imagine myself like the little girl, the blonde girl, that starts fires everywhere with her eyes when she gets mad, just burning down shit. No, but I felt that there was an energy. And that's why I've always believed that humans are magical. There's some magic to that. There's some magic to the science of how we were created. And people say, but God created us. And I said, yeah, that's right. The person that created us is a God. I accept that. There's many other theories also. I like pondering over them. That's my only thing, you know. If I say a God could be alien, it doesn't even necessarily mean that I think he probably is. It's that if there's something was omitted from the Bible, we wouldn't know it. So I think it's healthy to keep an open mind, but always keep your heart for God, quite simply. And that way you'll make it to heaven, is how I see it. He just wants you to be for him. He doesn't want you to know who he is or find him. You just have to feel him, is how I look. That's just my opinion. And I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with my research. And it's not for nothing. Once in a while, I come back to talking about the Bible or something like that. You know, I'm not a sermon, and you know, I never go on for hours talking about it, but it always comes down to that. Who is on the moon? So the religious people that come here, I think it's super. The paranormal researchers that come here, I think it's awesome. Because for me, ufology and paranormal researching, okay, is the same field, a different branch, is what I see. You got ufologists that are looking at UFOs, and how come it always comes down to the story of it being a spirit or something ghostly or an entity? Because it starts out as being a UFO, and people think UFO craft. In reality, these are phenomena, lights, unknown lights of some type of power, soundless. Okay, there's no sound. You don't feel the heat or anything. It's just this bright light emanating in front of you. It's the most beautiful unknown thing I think you could ever see. Right? It always makes me laugh. They say when you die to go towards the light, and here we're experiencing actually lights coming down to earth. You know, is it the people coming back waiting for Judgment Day for everyone to rise up? You know, yeah, I should make some movies about that. But you know, the ideal is scary, anyways, when you think of it. The zombie apocalypse, we're right in it. All around us, we have zombies that are physically awake, but the perception is asleep. They believe another thing. Not asleep, they believe another thing. So they look at something physical that told a certain thing, and they believe that, and then they start believing it. You know, it's not hard to convince something, to convince someone of a lie and to make it truth instead of being a lie, if it's convincing. So someone that's really sneaky, that has a convincing story, that's trying to integrate a lie, if you come up with something convincing that goes and gets the people's emotions and whatnot, well, you win. So keep an open mind no matter what they say. They say, oh, there's going to be a false flag event. Maybe not, but maybe so. So keep an open mind. But now somebody says there's going to be a false flag. So you tell someone, do you hear what happened in Chicago yesterday? False flag. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So you got a lot of people thinking the things that are really happening aren't happening. And some people think that certain things that are not happening are happening. So you get confusion. And that's what the government wants, because everyone's so confused. And instead of finding truth, well, we fight about what we're looking at on the moon. Not us, but in general, right, people? It's not aliens. It's you know, it can't be, because in the Bible it says this and that and stuff. When I did this research, when I came up with all my theories, it was before doing any research on the Anunnaki or any type of being. We all went through the same path. The Roswell aliens, the Anunnaki. We go through secret projects, Blue Book, and all these projects, and Paperclip, and then we find out about, you know, the Philadelphia project. We hear about anti-gravity projects that are being done, and but the more we know, the less we know, because it's just too much that they're throwing in there to really confuse us, and it gets really complicated at one point to understand anything legitimate. Now, House, will I be able to scroll down? What's the times? It's 2:38. I'm gonna keep going. It was 3:40. So many people here. Some more porn sites. My private photo on the site. No, Penny, we don't want to see your full beaver. Cabal and Illuminati will be fully disclosed. It will be a total disclosure. I get chills. I get chills hearing that, Lisa. I feel it, and I pretty sure that that's why I'm here in perfect time, Lisa. Think of it. Started 2016, had a couple of years to track some people as to what's going on. I brought some incredible theories about water. I found out that all the structures are elevated along the Terminator line. I started sharing that with people. So we got a lot of findings on the moon, a lot of findings. People always told me, Bruce, over the years, remain humble no matter how many people come here. Please stay regular and respond to your community. And I'd be honest with you, if it wouldn't have been for my community, I would not be here. Do you guys have any idea how much I love seeing the same names coming back here? I think it's a more incredible feeling seeing the same family come back as to seeing new people, I think, you know. Thank you, Susan. You know, I'm dumb enough to believe it, eh? But I accept it. And I said it in the past. I don't need to know or to hear about disclosure because I'm doing it myself. Like many others do it just in their minds, are able to understand what's going on. I just don't know if it's the humans that are doing all the activity up there on the moon or if they're working with aliens or not, but we still know someone's up there. We know a lot of and the plot thickens. We see the Pentagon that comes out. It's incredible, guys. We've never heard about any of these things over the years. The Pentagon got caught doing anti-gravity technology experimentation, teleportation, and time travel experimentation, wanting to nuke the moon. And now somebody mentioned, I don't know if it's David White or somebody talking about, or His Highness, I could get the names wrong, guys. On Mars, they're talking about wanting to nuke Mars too. So it's like, what the hell's going on? Recently found a crater that smacked into Mars. A little concerned about that. His Highness channel also mentioned a house that got hit by a meteor. 1 in 4 trillion chances. You have 1 in 4 trillion chance of having a meteor hit your house, they say. It started a couple of years back. We saw Russia with the first meteors entering the atmosphere. Pow! Big loud bang, windows shattering. Oh my God. I mean, oh my goodness. It gives you an idea of what is coming. I really love hearing that, Lisa, that the cabal and the Illuminati will be fully disclosed. It will be a total disclosure. I feel it is. You know why? Because they've never been revealed, and they've been here since before the Egyptians, since the time of God. This has been going on, I believe. If disclosure comes out, there's certain things they're going to have to do before disclosure comes out. And ladies and gentlemen, it's possibly what we are witnessing right now. Talk about Biden ending coal mining. There's a lot of things going on that we don't necessarily understand. The diesel and food shortages, which they don't have to happen, by the way. This is all deliberately caused by the cabal and the Illuminati. I believe that 100%. Thank you, Susan. A lot of people, says Lisa B, will lose their minds when they see full disclosure. Praying for those that are unaware. Yes, and you know what? I'm inspired by that. I think I have a lot of inspiration that it's going to go the opposite way. The people that will be offended by what they did will show in the rage of the people, but I don't know if they're going to be that upset. But maybe that's absolutely ridiculous, Lisa B, thinking that no one would be upset. I'm not saying no one will be, but I think a lot of people, even me, when I get a religious person that comes to my channel, and I have lots of them, thank God. And when they come to my channel and they say, I love your research, Bruce, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Mormon, I'm the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I don't care. No matter who you are, Jehovah's Witness, they can still take, no, maybe not them. They can still take the time to come and see the website and say, well, that's something incredible. One person was religious and said, Bruce, God created everything in the universe. And it is in the Bible, by the way. It is in the Bible. So why are we confused about what's on the moon? It's just God's creation. Our cousins. But a lot of you think that way. And some people, when they come here, say that, just basically our cousins. Thanks again, Mr. Peter Benton, for the contributions, for being here, you guys, and being members. Gamecock Mike in the house. Hey, guys. Thank you so much. Sorry for making you guys wait an hour, as I always do. And when I scroll down, guys, please don't think that I'm skipping over you. Yeah, and that's what we've gone through, eh? Lisa B and everyone, we've gone through the suffering. We've gone through the suffering. Everyone's been suffering for years. Our ancestors have been suffering. Now my ear is bugging. Someone's thinking of me. Our ancestors suffered, and it's just more and more. Our Boyd, yeah, you're getting it. Eat more bacon. Absolutely. A fart drone. Interesting. You have to buy Bruce infrared drone for him. Anyone want to be the one to look into it for him? I will donate to that. Hey, Lisa, are you serious? Come on there. Infrared drones. Whoa. Yeah, I know. I'm already excited thinking about it now. I'll probably be looking at them up tonight, but that is an investment I have to invest in. I promise I will, guys. I'll save up for it. That is something that is an extra tool, like an incredible tool. It can't always be used, but it could be used when we see a UFO close. And at the same time, I wanted to fly kazoo over the neighborhood, but I'm not going to do that. I did want to do that. I want to put a parachute on kazoo, send him up on the infrared camera with the infrared drone, and then drop him and have the parachute activate and just have an alien fall on someone's tree. That'd be so funny seeing that go by, Elisa. Incredible support you guys give here, and I can't thank you enough. A lot of people say that, JT, that the moon was the ark. I've heard that also. Excuse me. Wait a minute. Is it 4:00? Am I losing it? I didn't stream 3 hours, did I? I didn't think I was going to last the 2 hours. Just the thought was so thoughtful, Lisa. I'll have to check them out. I wonder if they're accessible. And don't forget, if not an infrared drone, the cameras is always a way of adjusting the cameras, and they are able to hold certain weight on those drones. I'd have to look into that. Anyways, it's something to look into. Something to look into, because I'm not going to want to not do that one. Think of it, guys. Another one lands in the yard. I mean, imagine the chance I have of sending up a freaking drone up to it to communicate with it. Wouldn't that be incredible? Maybe it's going to, I don't know, do something to the drone or destroy it. Maybe it'll still be one hell of a video. Then I'd have to get another camera filming the drone going up to be sure they get that. Would be absolutely incredible. You guys are incredible. You guys are already contributing so much, and I really appreciate that, everyone. I love you for it. I know Bob's wife was having an affair and wouldn't let him know. Yeah, exactly, Tommy. I'm sorry for guys seeing it late. Geez, I missed a whole bunch, but yeah, exactly. That's well said. And they did, after all, I think, tell him, or maybe they didn't even tell him. But I remember that coming up where they had mentioned that they were listening in and they knew that something was up. Wayne, thanks so much for being here. So, guys, it's 4 o'clock. I guess I am gonna have to get off. I didn't I start streaming at 1, 2, 3. I still can't get over having been here 3 hours. I thought I was here for an hour, but anyways, geez, I must have been babbling on. I didn't see that many crickets here. Did I get up that often? Wow, you guys, listen, thanks a lot, you guys. I will save up for it. I promise you. Every dollar that you guys just gave on this one, well, I'll save it for the next one to look into. But I do have to do some research first to look into it. I really don't know Bridge 3. It's always fascinated me that I wasn't actually, you know what happened, Bridge 3? I got out to the higher ups, literally, and the Pentagon, that and the United States government, and the Carter presidency. I don't know what too much what, but that started all of this. It was Carter, the President Carter, and UAP Task Force, Space Force. They had a chance to see, even though they don't know me, they had a chance to see the video, and they posted mine in front of all the countries and MUFON directors and investigators that were there, and the ufology associations. So the truth is out there. They did want to present civilian UFO sightings. You could be sure they're going to talk about that in a private meeting. They're not going to talk about it to me. They're not going to tell me what I got is real either, but that's okay, because my goal wasn't to do that. My goal was just to present the work so that they know that someone is out there actually doing the work. Thanks so much, Gate Smasher. So I am going to get off now, you guys. The stats. Hey, poor Julie, donating to leave a comment. I love you, Julie. Jethro, I don't know about them. Don't know enough about them. Nimza a little bit, but not enough. But pretty sure they're up to no good. Maybe making trouble in your neighborhood. Flying around some things. Like the reasons why I see planes flying around here after there's a UFO, after there's UFO activity. Hey, thanks a lot, you guys. Tommy, you rock, Lisa. We're talking more about that tonight. Thanks again, Lisa B. Everyone, guys, thank you so much. Amazing show and turn up here. The stats, this thing makes your screen blink. Light it up, do it. Hey, looks good. Looks like bling on the screen. I love you for it, Julie. Thank you, guys. Donnie Foster, thanks for being here, man. I like Lisa's ideas. Lisa's a warrior. Right here's the place. This is, the donations, the contributions that are given here will come to me at the end of the month in my pay from Google and YouTube. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool way, I think. Anyways, Bruce, but I'm sure he already knows about which one to get. Yeah, I pretty much know about the drones, guys. I've been looking at them for years. I just have to check to see if there's one in infrared, but I know there is. And obviously, I'm going to be looking for some that are under thousands of dollars, right? Start off at a minimum to see what they offer. At the same time, I'll be able to contribute into that too. And it'll be interesting, just a bit more tools to do some info. That's going to permit me to leave the house and to lose weight. No, to lose the, well, yes, but it'll permit me to go into those woods in the back is what I want to do. I don't think I'm going to have access to going into it because it's along the border, but a drone, maybe that would be a good thing. I can remain beside the road and go up high and from, wow, it's exciting. From the view of where I am near the junction of Hydro-Quebec, I'll be able to put circles up and explain where the UFOs were lifting up off the surface. I feel I'm going to see more lift up, guys. I'm looking forward to this winter because there'll be no leaves in the trees. I want to go do a little bit of digging around that area. And so, my amazing people, Nas, thank you very much. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day. I am going to be here in 4 hours. I'll be back on talking again. Poor you guys will have to. You'll be you'll be stuck listening to me for another couple of hours. I'm so sorry for having stayed on for 3 hours. If ever my mother's listening in, she's gonna be pissed at one point because she's likes coming in to listen in, but that's a bit long here. So I am going to get it off. Guys, I can't thank you enough. Have some more conversation tonight. Yeah, okay. So I see you guys are talking about certain things. So I'll be putting up a post also for recommendations. And we'll be talking about it here tonight about some infrared drones. Maybe it'll attract some people. And I love you guys. I'll be talking to you this evening. Be here if you can. In 4 hours, we'll talk about some more. And who knows, maybe tonight. So there was no sun today, unfortunately. Very, very sad to say that the sun in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's going to be setting. And probably won't get the chance to get the sun today. It was pretty bad. I really wanted to. So don't get it, Bruce. Channel is awesome, but only 150 people on the whole planet watching. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is, unfortunately. You want to laugh, Dill the Dog? I'm limited to 150 comments. I'm limited to 150 views here with the concurrent views. But do you know how many people come to the streams? This stream, I got between 16 and 1,800 messages because that's what I get every stream. And the stream here, there's always between 1,500, between 1,200 and 2,000 people that come and view the stream. Like when I stop right now, that's probably the amount that I will have. Notice it will take till 8 o'clock for you to see a couple of hundred views go up. They lock them like that. I have no idea why. Like I probably got 2,000 views right now, and you'll probably see 1,000. You know, the likes usually are the same thing. They remain stuck, you know, so. Aha. Cool. Yeah, apparently they do fly well. So I'm so interested in that. So interested in that, you guys. We'll talk about that later then, I guess. Lisa's making me get chills. Oh my God, I have to go back and read all this. I'm getting excited. Bruce, could you actually, you know what? I'm not allowed receiving any money from PayPal. Canadians, it's against the law. It's an automatic jail sentence. Did you know that? Americans are allowed using their PayPal. In Canada, we have new guidelines since 2018 or 2019. We're not allowed receiving any money from there. I think it's happened once that somebody found it and sent me something, $5 or $10, and that was it. That's all I've ever received in there. But I'm telling you, what we have here on the platform, the contributions that come here, I know a lot of people think that they're taking 30, 40% from me, but they're not. We're not on Rumble. Rumble takes 40% from you. They take a mere 15 to 17, or it's not that high. And the super chats on the videos, I get even more for that. So when you're here in reality, you know, it really helps. You become a member, you become a patron. But as for the money, I think what we're doing right here with the donations is perfect. And it'll be up to me to save up and, you know, at the same time to try to get ourselves something. So, but the PayPal, thanks for asking though, Julie. So in Canada, people, when you see somebody that has a PayPal and he's asking for donations that he says he's from Canada, he's lying because it's against the law, or he's trying to do fraud or anything. But you absolutely can't in Canada, unfortunately, receive any money from PayPal. It has to be a transaction. You know, I could fake it too if I wanted to say, oh, well, I sold Julie a trailer and now she's giving me $2,000, but I'm very careful with that. A lot of people have asked me, and I've always been careful. I'm so afraid, that's like when I had raised the first bit of money for the telescope. I paid, my God, I think it was $3,500 in tax that year, because Bruce had no idea it would pay so much when somebody gives you money. That there's taxes, there's a lot of things we got to do. That's why I always try to save up for that. Pretty strange how a hurricane formed out of nowhere at the time when the season is over. You're absolutely right about that. I think it's totally manipulation. I am getting off now, guys. Hey, I love you so much. 2, 3, 4. I stayed on for 3 hours, guys. 3 whole long hours. Did I get 1,000 views? I hope so. I'll be checking out later. Thanks for the generous contributions. Thanks to all the mods. And thanks to each and every one of you new people also that took the time to come and check the channel out. So I'll see you in less than 4 hours. I'll be back on here at 8 o'clock. We'll talk about some more cool stuff, guys. Thank you so much for the amazing support. Please check out my last video if you haven't seen it yet. And leaving the stream, please give me a thumbs up. Please. It'll help, as it helps all creators. So from Gate Smasher to Lisa Eckerly to Leah to Darla to everyone here, Donnie Foster, David, thanks so much for stopping by, you guys. I love you very much, and I'll talk to you all tonight. Bye-bye for now.